Can you hear me now?
Hey, maybe we figured out how to fix
Oh, now you can hear me? Okay.
Huh. Perfect.
Hi, okay, we're gonna start again. So, we're gonna do our Disney stream today, and as you can see, I've got one of the BuzzFeed articles already pulled up. Over here, this is Angelo, my brother. He's gonna give us some opinions on some movies, and then over hiding in the corner off camera is Gavin, and they will occasionally jump in and give their input. So, Angelo is mostly our Aladdin expert, and Gavin is our older movies expert. You all know I'm the Tangled expert, but they'll chime in with some bits and pieces, and you might hear me ask some questions. Oh, hush. So we're starting with this one. So I have a super long list of articles we're going to do. We're going to do some quizzes and actually see if they're as hard as, BuzzFeed likes to be. If you can't get this quiz, then I'm taking away your Disney card, so we're going to see how hard these quizzes actually are. We're starting with this one. 37 things from Disney movies that still do not make any sense to me, a fully grown adult. So, we're going to start with number 1, which I've already read through this one, and I have some pieces to say. Beauty and the Beast was Beast like 11 when he got turned into the Beast. This is a big thing because 10 years we've been resting. The rose would bloom until his 21st year in this picture. I choose to believe that they didn't age. Like, what do you guys think? I don't think they aged while they were transformed. I mean, sure, that messes with the 21st year bit, but maybe it was only a year or two?
So my thought is either he's exaggerating.
He's exaggerating. Obviously, the big thing. He could be exaggerating. I always assumed.
Chip, how old is Chip?
Chip is like 8. There's no way it's been 11 years.
Born?
Was he born a teacup?
And lost a tooth.
No.
And lost a tooth, you're right.
Chip was born a teacup before the curse.
Chip was born a teacup before the curse. But yeah, like, Chip is the thing that no one looks at. Like, I don't think they aged. I think that, like, the 10 years is an exaggeration. And then the 21st year, I mean, maybe he had a year where he...
Are songs canon?
Are songs canon? My answer is shrug. It's a fairy tale. I mean...
So wait, are we saying Chip is 18?
Chip is 18?
So he's like Al from...
But yeah, I mean, also this shows that, like, this picture of him,
Final Fantasy IV.
like, the painting shows he wasn't 11 when he was transformed. So, like, I think that 10 years we've been resting is just an exaggeration. I mean, I can't really explain the 21st year bit, except maybe he had a year until he turned 21 or something. Like, that's all I can think. But I don't think they actually physically age and that it has been 10 years.
I think
like,
that
makes no sense. Why did no one call the Beast by his actual name? Now this one, I don't have an answer for you. I don't have an answer why they didn't call the Beast by his name. Do you guys have one?
I've never even thought about that. What is his name? They never say it in the movie.
Okay. So, people will tell you that the Beast's name is Adam. That is technically incorrect. He does not have any sort of name, and it was stated in behind-the-scenes details that the directors just never gave him a name. They just never stopped and thought about it. There was a musical that was based on the Disney version, but was not actually sanctioned by the Walt Disney Company, where the Beast's name was Adam, and that is where a lot of people kind of get that information from and believe it to be canon to the Disney film, but it's technically not.
Well, what's his name in Descendants?
What's his name in Descendants? So yeah, technically the Beast has no name. I don't know if you guys could hear him. Technically the Beast has no name. There was a Broadway musical based on the Disney version that gave him the name Adam. That's not Disney. That's not Disney that gave him that name. So, I don't think they call the Beast by a name in Descendants.
I think they just call him Beast.
I think they also just call him Beast.
No, I think they call him King. They don't
yeah,
call
a quick
him
Google
King
search
Beast.
reveals his name is Adam. That's not it. And they just call him the Beast. I don't know. I mean, I thought they called him... Don't they call him, like, my lord and stuff a couple times, though?
Usually.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't have called him by his name anyway. They would have called him by a title. So, let's see. How long was Belle at the castle? I think it was like a year. Because, okay, so this is talking about how Maurice appears to leave to find Belle the first night she's there, Except when she sees him near the night she leaves for the castle, he's still looking for her. I don't think he's been in the forest for months, like this is saying. I think he probably tried a couple times, left and came back a couple times to try and find her. Or, I mean, maybe he's been in the forest for months. Like, it's not that big a deal. I don't think this, like, really is movie breaking or makes no sense. Like, who cares? How did Gaston and the mob find Beast Castle? The mirror! The mirror! He quite literally had the mirror in his hand. That's how they found it. And then, of course, they get into how did no one know about the castle? How was this part of the curse? I guess it's all part of the curse, but that doesn't explain how they knew how to get there. It's part of the curse, probably. And he used the mirror to get there. Like, it's shown. Like these.
I mean, as far as anyone's concerned, it's an abandoned castle that nobody lives in. So why would anyone ever want to go there?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They thought it was an abandoned castle. I mean, it looks abandoned.
They call him Adam on the Descendants wiki. They say King Adam, but I don't know if that's actually from the movie. So I'm...
Okay. All right, Angelo. I don't.
Yeah.
This
Lindsay,
next.
Lindsay Ellis did do an entire video bitching about people doing these nitpicks.
Yeah, Lindsay Ellis did.
Yeah. Shout
Angelo.
out to Lindsay Ellis.
Shout out to Lindsay Ellis. Yeah.
What's this? What are you asking?
Frozen 2. Do you know enough about Frozen 2 to answer anything?
I think so. Maybe.
What was going on with Elsa's mom? The fifth spirit? What? Elsa's...
Okay, so Elsa and Anna are the fifth spirit.
Okay.
Elsa's
I don't know what that means.
Mom... Have you not watched Descendants 2?
Descendants 2?
Or not Descendants 2.
Frozen 2? I watched
2.
Frozen 2 the one time you were here, and I don't remember any of it, so
Okay.
I honestly was just going to skip this one.
So, basically, what's going on with her mom, because she...
I thought her mom was a spirit.
Her mom is dead.
Okay, but I thought her mom was a spirit.
She does sing a duet with her mom's spirit, quotations.
No, I thought at the beginning of the movie, when they showed the story about the spirit falling in love with a human, that was their parents.
It was not a spirit falling in love with a human.
Y'all, I apparently didn't watch Frozen 2.
Wait, what do you mean spirit? That's not what happened. What happened was there was a girl from the magic people tribe who saved the boy.
Oh.
And that was their parents.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought she was a spirit.
She
Well,
was
I'm
not a
skipping
spirit.
this. I'm not getting
Anna
into
and
this. This
Elsa
is
are
too
the
much.
spirits.
We're jumping. We're leaving. Will Olaf ever die of old age? This one?
I hope so.
I mean, he can melt if Elsa...
I think he'll die if Elsa dies.
He already did die when Elsa died.
Yeah. He dies when Elsa dies. That's it. He won't age.
Magic does not keep him alive. Or if Elsa...
Okay, now we're getting into Tangled. So, of course, this is just dumb Disney. You just have to turn your brain off. How on earth did Rapunzel remember being a newborn? Because she sees the star, like the sun, and then she, like, remembers this flash of her parents and her mobile. It's like...
One, I don't think that was the night she was born.
Yeah, it was likely. It seemed like it was at least a couple days, if not a couple months, between the night Rapunzel, between when Rapunzel was born and when Mother Gothel kidnapped her. But again, like, who cares? Like, it's one of those. It's just like, who cares?
Also, she's magic.
Yeah, she's magic.
She's magically imbued with the power of the sun, or whatever.
Okay, this one, suspension of disbelief, but. I mean, I think the biggest thing is, like, Mother Gothel was just gonna die anyway. Why did Gothel immediately turn old when her hair was cut, but none of Rapunzel's other magic was undone? Like, this bitch was just ready to die, okay? Like, I think this was just thousands of years of healing herself, like...
I think how I've always seen it is that, like, it's the same way of, like, Elsa keeping, Olaf alive. Her magic, she's healed, she healed Eugene. She does not keep Eugene alive.
I guess that's true.
Through her healing his hand. She is literally the only thing sustaining Mother Gothel.
Yeah, at this point.
So when the hair is cut...
but why doesn't Eugene's stab wound show back up is also what it's asking.
Okay. Well, because he's healed afterwards.
Oh, he is healed afterwards.
He's healed afterwards with the last amount of her power, quotations, as we know from the series. That's not true.
Well, then the next question is, like, why didn't the wound on his hand, like, open back up?
What I'm saying...
And my answer to that would be, like, Rapunzel has put Rapunzel has put, 7 million MP into Mother Gothel and, 4 MP.
Yeah, I mean, just the amount of, difference of magic she's put into Mother Gothel
that's
versus...
what I'm saying. She does not keep his hand alive.
Yeah.
She just accelerated the healing of his cells.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, yes.
She's like Jorno.
She's a zombie.
So, this next one, if you watch the movie, yes. Does Rapunzel know she's keeping Gothel young? The answer is yes. Because,
she doesn't know Mother Gothel is...
She doesn't know how old Mother Gothel is, but she knows because, Mother Gothel comes in and says, I'm feeling a bit run down, will you sing to me? And she knows, and she can visibly tell, I assume she can visibly tell,
she says, I have magical hair
that glows
when I sing.
And keeps, yeah.
She knows it heals, though, because she knows it heals.
She knows that.
She knows she can heal Flynn's hand when he cuts it. So, she knows.
Yeah,
Also, she doesn't ever ask about her dad. Well, I don't think she knows she needs a dad, guys.
Did Mother Gothel give her sex ed?
Yeah, I mean, doesn't she ever question this or wonder how old Gothel is? She doesn't ask about her dad or how she got her powers. I'm sure she asked about how she got her powers, but I mean,
she was
Does
born
she know
with
that
it.
That's not a normal thing?
Okay.
I mean, I think so. That's why she's in a tower.
How did Gothel find some super tall tower, and why didn't she just block the window that directly faced the lanterns? I told Gavin this one, because then there'd be no movie. There's a point where you have to go, okay, I'm suspending my disbelief, and I'm taking this because otherwise there'd be no movie.
I will answer how I
this is the same one as I've seen, why didn't she just tell Rapunzel a different birthday? Guys, there would be no movie.
Okay, why didn't she tell Rapunzel different birthdays, whatever. But this one, I mean, it seems like the tower was her panic room, right? Because, I mean, she's immortal. She's been around for possibly hundreds of years now. I feel like she had the tower as a backup. She, as a basic panic room if she needs to go hide somewhere.
I mean, yeah. I mean, for all we know, she's just been living in the tower. We don't know where the tower came from,
no,
sure.
We know she wasn't living in the tower. Tangled series. She had a house.
I don't like the term suspended disbelief in general. I just go into the movie with weird shit happening. I mean, yeah, but that's what I mean. It's not story breaking. You just kind of have to... I just say suspended disbelief because, yes, in real life you're going to question this, but, just go, okay, this is happening, who cares? It's a Disney movie. It's a cartoon. There's a point where you go, yeah, in real life, why didn't Mother Gothel tell her a different birthday or cover up the wall with the lanterns or something?
Going into the movie okay with weird shit happening is suspending your disbelief.
Yeah, exactly. Going into a movie okay with weird shit happening is suspending your disbelief. That's what it means. You expect plot things to happen. Exactly.
I mean, if we're taking
this one is just dumb. How did Zazu know the song "It's a Small World"? Has he been to Disneyland? Come on, guys. How you guys are just running out of things to write about?
This is an old folk song.
This is an old folk song.
We're hearing the translated version, but this is an old folk song that he's singing.
I mean, seriously,
it's like the Aladdin.
You guys are.
That it takes place in 6 million AD or
whatever. No, it's
did Simba realize when singing "I Just Can't Wait to Be King" that he wouldn't be king until his dad died? I assumed he knew, but I mean, that's also not necessarily true. Plenty of kings and queens
just get old and sick and
but
pass on.
Plenty of people just get coronated while the king is still alive, and they just kind of go, okay, I'm old now, it's your turn. He didn't think his dad was going to die. He also didn't think his dad was going to die this week. He's just having fun. He's a kid. Come on, you never thought, oh, I can't wait till I own my parents' house, or I can't wait till I get my grandparents' fortune. Come on. Your inheritance. Come on. You've never thought that kind of thing? Yeah, kings can step down.
Yeah.
He didn't know his uncle was going to kill his dad, yeah.
I mean, this is also lion pack, stuff.
Why weren't the other animals more scared of Nala and Simba? I mean, are we really going to get into, again,
Are the musical numbers canon?
Are the musical numbers canon?
One, are the
all the animals...
Canon? Two, they are literally, baby kittens.
Yeah, I
mean... What are they going to do?
Who cares?
They can't hunt for themselves.
Are the musical numbers canon? And again, because the circle of life, I mean... do you really think an elephant is scared of a cub? Exactly. And I mean, even these ostriches, like, who cares? And
also, there's like,
I mean, we're gonna get in
pyramid in this song. So,
what are we? Like, you start getting into this, you have to get into all the Disney movies and all the talking animals and all of why wasn't this animal scared of that one? Why wasn't, like, I mean, come on, you're going to start getting into Zootopia next? Like, I mean, let's chill out.
Jungle Book.
Jungle Book?
Well, that was kind of the plot of Jungle Book.
Well, yeah.
That was the plot of Zootopia, too, but you know what I'm saying. Like, in Little Mermaid, what do Ariel and the other mermaids eat? This one's really interesting.
That's a real question.
Are they on seaweed-only diets, or do they eat the talking fish? I assume not, because Sebastian and all the other fish sing a whole song about how humans eat fish and how they're safe under the sea. I think this is interesting. Like, I guess you can't even say, oh, well, they just eat mussels and clams, because those are a thing. Those are like,
yeah, they eat krill. But
those are things too. They talk and they're all alive. So like
sea sponges.
I don't know. No, like, what are they?
Nutritious.
I guess they just eat seaweed. Or maybe, I mean, again, maybe we're just going to get into Little Mermaid. Is Little Mermaid like with Lion King? Like, do they just eat the other talking animals?
Yes. We know that they do in Lion King.
So I guess they do in Little Mermaid. I guess they eat the talking fish. They eat algae. My mom says they eat algae. They could. Well, these aren't story breaking. This is CinemaSins level bullshit. Yeah, no, this is what I'm saying. Like, most of these aren't story breaking. That's why I'm getting into them. Is like a lot of these, it's like CinemaSins. It's like, okay, some of these are like interesting thought things like this. Like, yeah, what do the other mermaids eat? But it's not groundbreaking. It's not movie breaking.
Watch this movie.
Okay. The question's been asked a million times. Why didn't Ariel write a note to Eric saying who she was? We know she could write because she signed Ursula's contract.
That's like kids being taught how to write their name.
I mean, yeah, like, for one thing, this was a magic quill.
I doubt she needed to actually sign anything.
It probably would have signed her name without her doing it.
I'm willing to honestly agree with this one.
I mean, yeah.
I also hate.
But again, it's what we said earlier. Then there wouldn't be a movie.
It's like there wouldn't be a movie. For one thing, for two. We also don't know.
In hindsight, hindsight's 20/20. Maybe she just
also like let's talk about how like she would have been okay had like Ursula not tried like 3 or 4 times to like screw her over. Like she would have been able to. She almost kissed Eric night 1, and then everything would have been fine. But yeah, I mean, it's like I don't really have an answer for this one. The sea language is not the same language. I mean, yeah, there's that. But she speaks English. They can talk at the end when she gets turned into a human.
Language doesn't necessarily.
Just because you can walk doesn't mean you can run. Writing your name is different while writing a letter. I mean, no, I still kind of agree with this one. It is a little funny. It is a little like, okay, hey. It's not movie breaking. It's still not movie breaking. But if you ask me what's a plot hole in Little Mermaid, I would say this.
I don't think it's a plot hole. It's just like...
There's about 10,000 other reasons why I wouldn't want to watch Little Mermaid. This is not one of them.
I mean... Alrighty, Ansel, Aladdin's coming up. There wouldn't be a movie works unless the plot is a super stupid thing. I mean, yeah.
Okay, this one is... one makes
Angelo, let me read it before you jump in. Yeah, Angelo's about to jump in and get real mad. Let me say my bit, and then you can jump in. In Aladdin, how come Genie is able to use magic to get Aladdin out of the cave without using a wish, but then can't do the same when he saves Aladdin from drowning? He can! He told Aladdin he wouldn't. Simple as that, period. I'm gonna let Angelo jump in, but let me put my opinion. He goes, okay, you got 1 freebie. No more. I can't do any more magic without you wishing. He could physically do it. Yes, he has the ability, but he says, I will not. I will not. He can. Can and won't are 2 different things. Like, he can.
Okay, so I'm going to get up in this. Hi, guys.
Alrighty.
So, after he gets out of the cave, Aladdin's like, so my 3 wishes. He's like, you already used one. He's like, I didn't. And he's like, oh, you got me. And he says, then no more freebies. And Aladdin says, a deal's a deal. And the whole thing about genies is that they have deals. However, Genie
does save his life without asking for a wish. Because Genie forges his signature on a contract, backdates it saying that he asked for the wish, and saves his life. He literally, like... Aladdin is unconscious, and so he forges a backdated contract for him saying that he could do it. So...
There you go. I mean, he could do it. He can do magic. He just won't.
And he does after he frees him.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you watch Aladdin, if you watch the Aladdin series on Toon Disney, then
Genie is the man.
Or if you watch the third movie, don't watch.
Why could Iago talk and Abu couldn't?
His owner is a sorcerer.
What he said.
Also,
he's owned by like the powerful dude. It's not hard to think that he probably put a.
He's a parrot.
He's a parrot. That's the joke.
One's a bird, and birds can talk, and monkeys can't. And Abu does talk. He very much go.
I mean, yeah, Abu communicates.
He very much does talk.
Oh yeah, but this person is like, parrots are supposed to mimic, but Iago could speak his mind freely, but Abu couldn't. Like Abu can communicate very clearly with Aladdin.
His owner is a sorcerer.
Also,
you
from a guy who likes birds, parrots don't just mimic; they also can talk.
Does the genie actually make Aladdin a prince? Now this is the question,
okay.
Angelo. We need your expertise.
Have different opinions.
I disagree with Angelo on this one.
Let's get the mic over here.
My opinion is that he does not make Aladdin the prince of a land, unless maybe he makes him a prince of the oasis there. But Genie makes a bunch of fake people and stuff, and Aladdin is the ruler of those people.
But we never see those people.
We do.
When?
In the Prince Ali musical number.
In the Prince Ali musical number.
So he is the prince of Genie's creations.
But you have to be prince of like a land.
He's the prince of that oasis.
I believe that he is absolutely not a prince, because Aladdin and Genie both talk about throughout the film saying like, oh, you gotta tell Jasmine that you're not really a prince. Well, Genie, if you had actually performed the wish, then Aladdin would be a prince and there'd be nothing to admit.
Yeah. I think the difference here is...
Genie does make him a prince very indirectly in Aladdin 3.
He does.
When Aladdin marries Jasmine, he does become a prince, and that was due to Genie's magic. And I believe for that reason...
He fulfilled the wish, eventually.
He fulfilled the wish, eventually, but any wishes made before that point should be annulled, and that does tie into the previous one that we were just talking about. So I know that I'm contradicting myself.
He backdated the wish. He backdated the second wish.
He backdated the wish?
We don't know when he did. He could have backdated it to before the first wish.
That is possible. Okay.
Well, there you have it, folks. Maybe or maybe not.
My thing is, I think doesn't come from a royal family.
Genie contracts.
Prince,
yeah.
But it's Genie magic.
Yeah, Genie contracts. I mean... Gav feels very strongly. Gav has a lot of very strong opinions. We're going to get into this.
I will say, he said he would make him a prince. He never said for how long. He could have made him a prince for a day.
Let's see. Yeah, because he asked where he's from. Aladdin doesn't seem to know. And, yeah. Okay, so in Tarzan, how is Tarzan able to learn languages? So let me read this because you guys are probably like, what?
All right.
In psych class, we learned about Genie, a child who was abused and never taught any language until she was 13. Despite advances in communication skills, she never acquired a first language. So how did Tarzan, a fully grown man, learn English? I actually feel like there may be some science here with guerrilla communication, but I would still like to know. We need a case study on Tarzan.
Okay.
Again, part of this, I have to say, it's a movie, like, let it go. But Gavin has some feelings.
Okay. Can I say something before Gavin gets into his rant?
Go ahead.
Because I'm just going to say, Genie is a case study, and as if anyone knows science, case studies cannot determine... You can't go based on one case study for a scientific constant. But I'll let Gavin go into his rant.
So that is true, what Angelo just said. But if we were to assume that the case of Genie was the norm and that this is a scientific fact, in the world of Tarzan, gorilla is a language. They communicate and they speak and they understand each other like perfectly. So Tarzan knows a language. He has unlocked like the language receptors in his brain. So learning English would just be like learning a second language. His first language is gorilla. And as we all know, means heart.
Well, and I think that the movie does a pretty good job of showing that. Like, he communicates. He has a language because they translate from, you know, he says stuff in gorilla and then they point and then she says it in English. Like, it is like...
It's an actual thing.
It's an actual thing.
I mean, Pocahontas, they magically learn English and, the grandmother will...
exactly. I mean, everyone's saying the same thing, like agreeing, like, you know, like, the language is there. Like, he has a language. He is communicating. I mean, I haven't seen Tarzan in a while.
Genie was not communicated with at all.
Yeah.
She had no communication. Tarzan has gorilla communication. So he has unlocked he learned to language.
It's just not a good comparison. I can
I
understand.
He's a cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's fiction, but like if we're looking at this, like I'm trying to take these at face value and explain a lot of them, which is what I'm trying to do here, because a lot of them have explanations in
lore.
Did Tarzan and Mowgli eat raw meat? I always assumed that they just ate like bugs and grass and ate whatever else.
Well, Mowgli definitely didn't eat bugs because in the Bare Necessities musical number, Baloo tells him to eat ants, and he's like, "What? You eat ants?" But once again, are the songs canon?
Are the songs canon? I mean,
I feel like Bare Necessities is probably
let me say something. He's a wolf kid.
He is a wolf.
Wolves eat meat.
I mean, I
know the wolves like understood that he had different like needs, but like
I mean, Mowgli probably ate raw meat, and it wouldn't kill you. It probably didn't kill him. Tarzan, I don't think Tarzan ate meat. He would have eaten whatever the gorillas would have eaten.
Lots of nanners.
Yeah, lots of bananas and stuff. Okay, my linguistic studies, I learned about hearing children with deaf parents that never spoke. I mean, yeah, but there's still communication there, so they can still learn language if they wanted to, because they're probably communicating sign language and other things. Also, these are adaptations of old stories, and these are questions with the original story. I mean, some of them are. That's the other thing, is some of these we will get into, I'm sure, where they're like stuff about Cinderella, like, why didn't this happen, like, in the original story? And it's like, well, it's based off a different version.
But yeah, I mean, he was...
Okay, this one I don't have an answer for. In The Hunchback of Notre Dame, was Quasimodo hallucinating the gargoyles, or could they really talk?
No, they could, because they
attacked the French people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They attacked the French people.
Real. So
attack. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they hit people. They physically move and hit people.
It's been too long since I've seen the movie. They're real, y'all. He's not hallucinating.
I think Esmeralda even sees.
We gotta start speeding through these.
Yeah.
We're already like half an hour in.
Oh well, we can do many of these. And the Aristocats. Why didn't Edgar just kill the cats? Because he's an idiot, and he didn't want to have murder on his list. That's all I can say. And are you legally allowed to leave your fortune to cats? Yes, you are. You are allowed to leave your money in a savings, and basically put someone in charge of that. And as long as they can prove that whatever they spend that money on is for the cats, you can do it. They can spend it. Yeah. So if they want to go on a cruise and they can be like, well, look, I'm taking the cats on a cruise and it'll make them happy, they can spend that money on a cruise. So it's not the safest thing, but basically, yes, you can leave your money in an account for your cats, and the person just has to prove everything they spend that money on is for the cats, or dog, or fish, or whatever.
You know your mic's over here, right?
I know, but okay, so you guys can hear. In Princess and the Frog, did Ray actually turn into a star at the end? Was Evangeline another firefly who turned into a star? How did Ray even fall in love with a star? As far as I remember, he says she was the prettiest firefly, so I assume he probably did turn into a star. They turned into the stars from Peter Pan, too. Yeah. Like the second star on the right and all that. So I think they did, but I mean, again, it's a cartoon, who cares?
I don't remember.
Okay, this one is dumb. It's because I didn't watch the movie. Why did Tiana and Naveen change back into humans if it was after midnight? Kissing a princess didn't work because it was after midnight, so why would kissing Tiana a princess work? Because Lottie, Charlotte, was only a princess until midnight because she was the princess of
It was the wording
The
of
Princess
the
of
curse.
Mardi Gras,
It was
because
the wording of the curse.
it was the wording of the curse. He just needed to kiss a princess, period, not before midnight. She was only a princess because her dad was the king of Mardi Gras, so she was a princess up until Mardi Gras ended, which was at midnight. Did Naveen ever go back to his country to rule? Who cares? Probably, maybe, who knows, who cares?
When Princess and the Frog live action
It's Snow White and the
movie
Seven
comes
Dwarfs.
out,
How are the
maybe.
dwarves not rich? They are. They say so with the song Hi Ho, that they have all this money, but they don't know what to do with it, or something like that. So they're rich.
Moving on.
I mean, who are they mining
Next
for? Themselves? For fun? Who cares? Who named the dwarves? Were they born with these names? I just kind of always assumed they were nicknames.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, you know, you got your friends, your buddies.
I mean, the question is, like, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, a lot, like,
What does it
a lot
matter?
of these really get into who cares.
What
In
does this
Sleeping
change?
Beauty, why change the curse so it could only be broken with true love's kiss? Because, okay, so the three fairies did that, if I remember.
Yes.
After Maleficent does it. So, I assume because they knew she was destined to be with the prince, and then they knew that they could set them up and that it would be okay? Couldn't they have made some failsafe to break the curse? Were they expecting her to find true love by 16? Yes, because she was destined to be married to this prince.
She needs to anyway.
They were
as a princess.
they were betrothed already as like children. What did they use to make thread if they got rid of all the spinning wheels? I think they just didn't make new clothes. I think that's kind of a thing. Like Aurora and the prince and the fairies are all in the same clothes from like the beginning to the end. I don't think they made new clothes.
It's a way to explain the cartoon phenomenon of only having one pair of clothes.
Yeah. They probably weren't powerful enough to break it, too. Yeah, no, that's actually stated. Like, the fairies were not powerful enough to break Maleficent's spell on their own, but they could impose something to break it. What was the point of not telling Aurora she was a princess or about the curse?
Because then there wouldn't be a movie.
That one I can't really tell you, honestly. I'm kind of with you.
That's the only reason.
I'm kind of with them. Like, there's not really a point to not tell her. I assume it's just to keep her safe so she doesn't seek out her family or anybody. It's to keep her safe and just
the same. You know? It's the same way of people saying, "Why didn't Mother Gothel let Rapunzel out sometimes so she didn't?"
Yeah, it's to keep her safe.
And because there wouldn't be a movie.
Why bring Aurora to the castle so close to her birthday and not after? Why did they leave her alone minutes before she reached her 16th birthday? Because she was betrothed to the prince. They were to get married then. So that's my best guess. Is that they were to get married then.
They were hoping that at that point she would get true love's kiss or something.
She wasn't asleep yet.
Okay, they didn't impose that until
No. She had to get married before her 16th birthday, I think, or something was the rule. They had a deal with the other king, and I don't remember all that, honestly. But
it's
yeah.
been forever.
Yeah, put an asterisk next to all of these Sleeping Beauty ones. It's been about 2 or 3 years since I've seen some.
Yeah.
More for me.
And Moana, how are the boats still functional after thousands of years?
Fair,
honestly. We don't know.
Grandma went in there with her magic.
Grandma did it.
Why does the ocean choose Moana? And if it's been 1,000 years, why didn't they try someone earlier?
Probably did.
Or did they? And were there others before Moana?
It's because it has to do with.
I don't know. This one put way more thought than they put into Moana, I think.
I think it's just that everyone in the island was away from the sea.
But there's other islands.
But, like, this is the one that's shown in the movie, so...
Because that's how chosen ones work. I mean, basically.
She's the one who likes the water, and no one else does, so...
And Hercules, how does Meg's contract work? This one is honestly a good point. She sold her soul to him, yet she still has to work for him while she's alive. But that sentence has a length to it, because Hades brings up adding and subtracting years from it. So what was the deal? I have a feeling this is another Disney protagonist who did not read the contract.
I feel like it's like a warlock. Right? They have your soul when you're alive so they can make you do things.
It's never clear. All we know is she sold her soul to save her boyfriend's life. And that's it.
Did she literally sell her soul, or is that just Hades using, like, a phrase?
I think she literally sold her soul. He owns her. She is bound by contract to him.
I think part of it is that she's going to go where she goes in the afterlife no matter what. It's that when you sell your soul like this, he then gets to control her now. It's like, it's like Orpheus selling his soul, and now he becomes Hades' like court musician instead of just being wherever.
What are you talking about?
Greek mythology.
That is not the story of Orpheus.
Well, he goes there and he's like, he makes a deal.
Oh goodness! Now they're getting into other stuff.
He makes a deal to get
Here's the
her
last
out
one.
of Hades without looking back.
And
But part
finally
of
in
that deal is
Mulan,
that afterwards
how
he
did
has to do
Mulan's
something
makeup
for
come
them.
off so easily?
I don't remember.
Okay, this is a real one. This one's legit.
Yeah.
So this one, A, is legit. I'm gonna rearrange this just a little bit. Okay. A, this is legit. But also B, I will say one thing. Makeup was different then than it was now. It was probably more like a face paint, so it probably would have come off a little easier than the, like, no stick, no move kind of makeup we have now. But also, yes, it's just dramatic imagery. It's just, yeah. Here is another one. 24 dark things we've all just agreed not to talk about. Again, I've read through this one, and some of them are just like...
Neutrogena
makeup wipes. Yes. Okay. So, some of these I'm sure you're ready for. But some of these I'm just going to scream about because I've read through some of this. Are we ready to talk about the bestiality going on in Beauty and the Beast? If I have to hear one more joke about bestiality, and here it comes. Being in love with her captor. If I hear one more thing about Stockholm Syndrome with Beauty and the Beast, I'm going to get mad. Okay? For one thing, she didn't truly fall in love with him as a beast. She even talks about how, like, you know, what am I doing, you know, and all this. And for one thing, she didn't fall in love with him as her captor. She fell in love with him once he started to give her freedom and, you know, make, you know...
She wasn't even really a captive. Like, he gave her the opportunity to leave. Like, he allowed her to do that on, like, night 1, and she left, and then got attacked by wolves, and then he saved her.
Yeah, I mean, so, like...
She could have left at any point.
Well, yeah.
And she doesn't truly love him until, like, he's human. Like, seriously.
Well, I mean, she has affection for him. She becomes his friend.
She fell in love with him when he starts playing with birds. I mean, yeah, like, once she started to see him... once he started to act more human and less animal...
She starts seeing him as a person.
One of the darkest things Beast does was straight up letting Gaston and his cronies attack the castle because he's sad, putting his entire staff at risk. I mean, that's not, like... Like, yeah, that was a shitty thing to do, but that's not that dark. He just wanted... He was, like, suicidal at this point, guys. Like... He you know... Beast is better.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't he tell, like, the rest of the like the staff of the castle to like go leave and like save themselves? And don't they say like, no, we're gonna stay?
I don't know. Wrong. He just says the line that says right here is, "It doesn't matter, just let them come." I don't remember. But I think
wrong. I could be totally making up that scene.
And there's tons of broken furniture and cookware in the ensuing fight scene. Does this mean the servants who became those furniture pieces were dead? Not all furniture in the castle was alive. Not gonna get into that one, but not all furniture in the castle
there was
alive.
furniture in the castle before the curse happened.
Also, they say, like, in the behind the scenes, they directly say that not every piece of flatware or whatever has, like, a human counterpart.
Yeah.
Like, they say that in behind the scenes.
I honestly find it so super gross that tons of stories revolve around kissing unconscious girls. At least in Sleeping Beauty, the kiss was part of breaking the curse. In Snow White, he literally just kisses a girl who's been dead for years. Gross, creepy, and sending the wrong message. Different time period, for one thing. For two, in Snow White, he was giving her a goodbye kiss, because guess what? He's in love with her. This was his girlfriend. They were, like, a thing. Like, they knew each other at the beginning of the movie. Like...
People often forget that.
People forget that one.
The Prince and Snow White knew each other before the events of this movie. He wasn't a stranger.
Speaking of which, Snow White's body would have rotted a lot if left in the glass coffin for years.
No,
It's a movie!
Also, wasn't the glass coffin, like, magical in some sort or something?
It was probably magic. Also, I didn't even realize she had been dead for years.
I thought it was like a day.
Yeah, I didn't think it was years. What are you guys talking about?
I'm gonna look that up. I'm doing some research over here.
Also makes me wonder what happened to Mufasa's body in The Lion King. Did the other animals eat it? Probably. And yeah, magic coffin, probably. And yeah, better than some versions of the story. In some versions of, like, I think it's Sleeping Beauty, he rapes her to wake her up, and she wakes up pregnant.
which again is not the original tale.
Again, not
That's
the original
Grimm's
tale.
version. But.
Come to think of it, the body of every Disney villain who falls to their death. I mean, yeah, I mean it's pretty dark, but come on, guys, like
It's
not as dark as the Tarzan one. Y'all seen the Tarzan?
Yeah, the
one?
Tarzan one is pretty dark. But this is a way. This is a way for Disney to kill villains without showing a body. Like that's why they throw
Tarzan.
Well, what I'm saying, that's why they throw them off of stuff. Because they can be like, look, he fell, bye! And then they don't actually have to, like, kill the character. Like
Mace Windu.
Like, yes, it's gonna be gross at the bottom. Sure. But, like, they don't have to show that.
Well,
I guess
Scar
you could
got
say
eaten
villains
by
like Frollo
hyenas.
and Hunchback were dragged to hell based on the imagery. I mean, yeah. Frollo went to hell. I'm a huge fan of Mulan, and I love Mulan with Shang, but I've got to admit, it's pretty messed up that he basically leaves Mulan to die. She had a horse. It's fine. I never really did think about this until I read this, though. It's like, okay, yeah, he does leave her in the middle of the snowy mountains with her horse and nothing else.
That one's
But
fair.
to be fair, he just saved her life. He did nothing. He owed her nothing. He was supposed to kill her right there, and he didn't. He owed her nothing. So, I mean, like, yeah, sure, he could have been better, but, like, he owed her nothing at this point and didn't trust her and didn't want to even bring her back. So, death feels like a major theme in most Disney movies. The main plot of Aristocats basically revolves around Adelaide dying. She writes her will, which is kind of normal for someone middle-aged, but why didn't she write it earlier? Why now? Also, Edgar seems in a rush to get kittens, almost like he doesn't have much time until the will is activated. I mean, she's old. For all we know, she's sick. Like, I mean...
Well, they're saying, why did she write her will now? Do we know this is her first will and testament?
I think so. I think it is her first will.
What is this? First will?
Aristocats.
She's just stupid. I mean, this woman's trying to leave like $1 billion to cats.
She probably is.
Yeah, but I mean...
my guess,
the
if
other
I had to
people
get,
in
like...
her life are one-kill cats, so...
It's likely that she assumed she would have had fallen in love or met somebody by this point. She didn't, so she hadn't written her will up to this point in time or something.
Also, I mean, the person who wanted the part of the will was willing to murder her cats
In
for
Moana,
her, so.
Maui steals Tafiti's heart and basically slowly poisons all surrounding islands for 1,000 years. So I'm assuming tons of islands were just wiped out, meaning Maui is responsible for the death of thousands.
I don't know enough about Moana to dispute this one.
I mean, it's possible. Like, again, like, this is one of those where, like, you're putting more thought into it than Disney did. Hate to tell you. Sure, it's a dark thing that, like, is likely true, but, I mean, like, yeah, we're just gonna keep ignoring it. Well, not Ursula's lost souls are pretty creepy, but I feel like at the end of the movie we've forgotten about them, but they're still down there, right? No, I thought they were all freed.
Triton, at the very least, was freed. I don't know.
I thought he freed all of the souls.
I don't know about the rest of them, but definitely at least Triton.
Okay, it's 1 year later for Snow White.
Okay, Snow White was only in the coffin for a year, and these people are acting like she's been dead for hundreds of years.
Also, she wouldn't have decomposed because, one, she wasn't actually dead.
Yeah,
and
she was
two,
magically asleep.
she was not... I mean, she might have decomposed a bit. Like, there would have been atrophy to her limbs or whatever. But,
Maui is a
she was
douche.
not under the ground with the decomposers.
I'm pretty sure. I thought Triton freed all these guys at the end of Little Mermaid.
Definitely at least Triton gets freed.
No,
Even
I know
if we
he
don't
was freed.
see the rest of them get freed.
I thought he freed all the other little souls.
Because there's all the like, little dick things.
Yeah.
Like, and Triton becomes one of those little dick things.
And I thought he freed them all at the end, and we get to see them all become humans again.
We gotta rewatch these
I've
movies.
seen Little
Jodie
Mermaid
says
like
she's-
twice.
It's been too long. Little Mermaid is dark overall. The main character, considering the main character a bunch of fish, the poisson is downright harrowing when you realize Sebastian watching fish get cut up is basically the equivalent of watching a giant gleefully chop and cook a bunch of humans.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, but that moment is, like, we talk about that moment is dark. Like, that moment's dark
That's the
in
point.
context.
I mean, the new Pixar movie has the same thing happen with the Mermaid Boys. The new Pixar movie gonna come out.
Update from Riley. Y'all are making me realize just how much I don't know the plots of Disney movies.
Food in The Lion King. Seriously, all these are about, like, food and eating other people, like, dark moments. Food in The Lion King gets pretty dark, too. All the animals seem to be able to talk and have robust personalities, yet they eat each other for food. The only thing protecting characters like Timon is plot.
Snow White didn't eat for a year while in a coma.
The chat about the coma, the thing is, they just assumed... They just assumed she was dead.
Yeah, she was
magically... The poison
magically...
did not kill her, but they assumed she was dead.
It's a magic coma. You don't need to eat when you're in a magic coma.
Yeah. I mean, same with Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah. Speaking of The Lion King, Nala and Simba were definitely related. That's been talked about.
I talked about that yesterday.
I don't know why you guys are saying this is dark stuff that hasn't been talked about. It's been talked about.
I mean, in Lion King 2, they're also related. But
this is not a dark moment, but I get what you're going for. This was realistic, but I feel like we all missed the quick moment where Rapunzel reaches out for Gothel as she falls to her death. It's super sad. Poor Rapunzel has complete Stockholm Syndrome. Now to watch the only person she thought ever loved her died even when Gothel had shown her true colors. This is not a sign of Stockholm Syndrome. This is one moment where, while she hated Gothel and she knew everything she did wrong... she didn't want to kill somebody.
Pascal totally killed Gothel.
Pascal killed Mother Gothel, guys! This is not a sign of Stockholm Syndrome, and even so, can you blame her? 18 years, the only mother she's ever known?
The only person
she's ever known falls out a window? It's not, it's a dark moment, sure, but it's not Stockholm Syndrome. People don't understand what Stockholm Syndrome is. Stockholm Syndrome would be if at the end of this movie, Rapunzel was like, I don't want to meet my parents, I want to go back to the castle and live with Mother Gothel. That would be Stockholm Syndrome. She wants out of this. Yeah. Let's talk Stockholm Syndrome more, a complicated relationship with an abusive parent, which is what the movie was trying to show.
What time is that?
It is already almost 8 o'clock.
I'll be right. I gotta soothe my tats.
The whole climax of Tangled is basically one of the darkest Disney movie climaxes. I don't know if I would agree with that.
Y'all seen Tarzan recently?
Gothel is just going to keep Rapunzel chained up forever. Also, I feel like no one ever talks about the trauma of Rapunzel being held hostage for her entire life. It's dark. Again, I wouldn't say this is one of the darkest Disney movies ever. There's a lot of dark Disney movies out there. You guys, quite literally, some are pretty actually dark. We also have the whole Dark Ages of Disney. But, no one really talks about the trauma, but she was held hostage, but she didn't know she was held hostage, for one thing. This was a very abusive relationship. This was more of an emotionally and mentally abusive relationship than a physically one.
Update from Riley. Someone gets lynched in Tarzan?
Yes, Riley! So, there's definitely some trauma from this, and sure, the TV show, this person mentions how the TV show does not explore it. It's not going to. Welcome to Disney World. This is the happiest place on earth.
To explain, for those who might not know the ending of Tarzan, Clayton, who's the villain, is trying to get Tarzan, and he's trying to shoot him with his gun, and he gets tangled up in a bunch of vines, and he starts tearing the vines out in rage, and one of the vines is around his neck, and he tears every vine except for that one, and then he falls and snaps his neck, because he gets lynched by the vine that was tangled around his neck. And that is how that movie ends.
Yeah, so we want to talk about dark movies in Disney.
That one has a gun that he tries to kill people with.
There's actually so much child abuse and neglect. This one is, again, I don't feel like this is a good moment to be like, this is dark, why don't we talk about this? Because it's not necessarily relevant.
And also,
there's so much child abuse. What about the Beast? It seems like he was 11 when the curse was cast. We already talked about that. Where the heck were his parents? Again, I don't think he was 11, and for all we know, his parents are just dead.
My thought on this is, one, it's based on non-canon stuff, right? But
I don't want to hear anyone bring up any arguments about the live action version explained all this.
I was about to say
you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
I was actually about to say the live action version, he is not 11. I don't want to bring that up as any kind of canon.
If not for the child abuse, there wouldn't be a movie.
No, I'm not bringing up any kind of this is canon, but he's not 11 in that one. We know that.
Here's what we're gonna get. I'm also disturbed by the fact there's so many kids in a castle of servants where their parents are servants.
Yeah.
Guess what? When you're a servant and you have kids, your kids live with you and work with you.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of castles have servants' quarters, which is basically just a neighborhood inside the castle gates, but outside of the main building. It's just a series of houses that the maids and butlers and cooks and their families live in. Yeah. So, for example, Mrs. Potts and Mr. Potts would live in a house behind or within
attached
to
way.
the castle, and their kids would live there as well. That's where Chip would live.
I mean, that still happens some days with like big mansions and stuff.
Yeah, you get lodging for your fam. Pretty sweet deal. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but yeah, there is.
There also seems to be a running theme of fathers who straight up hate their sons, like Kerchak and Tarzan. Yeah. I mean, I would hate it if my wife brought a different species home. Come on, imagine. Like, come on, Gavin would kill me. If I brought a cat home and been like, this is our son, he'd be like, what the fuck? Get this out of here.
I bought a parrot.
I will agree with them when it comes to the dad from Chicken Little. He sucks.
Oh, yeah, the dad from Chicken Little.
Wait, why is Chicken Little not on this list?
Oh my god, okay. This is stupid because they did it to protect them. Anyone else think it's kind of messed up that the fairies put the entire kingdom to sleep just because Aurora is asleep in Sleeping Beauty?
That was for protection. Did y'all watch the movie?
No.
Do you need a copy of the script?
No one watches these movies.
IDK, man, this cat is my son, yeah.
Update from Riley. Talking about bringing a new species home as your son, and she says, like Stuart Little.
Like Stuart Little? Yeah! That's me! They did it because they didn't want the king and queen to find out yet that what had happened to Aurora, and they wanted time to save her, so they put everyone to sleep. And they were going to do it until Aurora woke up. They just happened to do it. It only happened to be like half an hour. They were expecting, like, it could have been way longer.
Well, in some years.
I'm gonna fight this one. Prince Charming not remembering what color hair Cinderella had is super sus. I feel he had to be super drunk.
It's not about that.
Do y'all need a copy of the script?
Y'all need a copy of the fucking script!
Also, they were in the dark the entire time they danced.
They were in the dark.
You need to shut up, because this is not even, that's not even
relevant.
Part of it. That's not even relevant.
It's not relevant.
Well, yeah, that's true. In the book, Stuart Little, the mom actually gives birth to the mouse.
What?
Yes! So here's what happens in Cinderella. I'm going to just give you guys a quick recap. So the prince dances with Cinderella. She runs off. He falls in love. He picks up the slipper and he's like, oh my god, Duke. The Duke. He's talking to the Duke.
Well,
he's like,
for reference, the king wants
okay, for reference, the king wants grandchildren. The king threw this whole thing because he wants the prince to fall in love. So he falls in love with Cinderella, and he tells the Duke, I love her, I'll marry whoever the slipper fits. So the Duke goes and tells the king, well, she ran off, but we have the slipper. And the prince said he'll marry whoever the shoe fits. And he says, oh, will he? He will. That's what he's going to do. Find any fucking woman in the kingdom who fits this shoe, and he's going to marry her. Because he doesn't care about finding the right girl. He just wants to find a girl for the prince, and the prince said he'll marry whoever the shoe fits.
It just so happens that no one...
Just so happens that up until they get to Cinderella's house, he hasn't found anyone who the shoe fits because it's a magical slipper and it will only fit Cinderella. So, like, it's not the prince. The prince is not involved. The prince doesn't know this is happening. The king does this behind the prince's back. He sends the Duke right then and there to go search all night for the princess, for the girl that the prince will marry. And the prince has no idea. So, like, I hate this.
This is not some deep analysis. This is watched the movie.
Level.
This is base level analysis, by the way. This is like I'm basically quoting the script at you guys.
Yeah. I mean, also she's.
Oh God, this is something weird. I don't want to talk about.
I'm just gonna say I can't tell people apart from if they're wearing different clothes half the time. I don't know.
Yeah, y'all also ever heard of face blindness? That's a real thing.
Not even... I mean, he knew...
Finally, I hate to ask this, but did Tarzan have, like, crushes on gorillas as a teenager? Did he have relationships with them? This is something dark. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, let's skip it that one.
All right.
Okay. The next one, I want to get into this one because I hate what this is titled. Because they say, movie moments that were so bad they almost ruined the rest of the movie. What this ended up being is a list of moments that were kind of dark and kind of made people uncomfortable. So I'm going to read this. and we're going to talk about how stupid the person who wrote this is. Keep in mind what this is called. Movie
Ruined.
moments that were so bad, they almost ruined the rest of the movie. When the boys turned into donkeys in Pinocchio.
What?
The scene haunts me.
Okay, y'all be honest.
Let me read it.
Y'all be honest. Y'all didn't watch Pinocchio.
This scene is so disturbing, especially when they're all crying for their moms. It's truly terrifying. How is it a bad moment that almost ruined? Like, we have different definitions of, like, moments that almost ruin. Like, no. This is, you're talking about how this is dark.
That's
when Frollo sang Hellfire and Hunchback of Notre Dame, you mean the best scene in that movie?
Okay.
Again,
wait.
and they complained, they're like, it was really dark for a kid's movie.
I don't think people understand that the movie is not about not being dark. It's about telling the story. And
Yeah.
It's about this thing called a plot.
It's
This
just so,
thing called a plot.
it just so happens that the plot of Pinocchio is...
Plot of Pinocchio is dark.
It has a moral in the end. And part of that moral is don't be bad or you get turned into a donkey.
I mean, Hellfire was really dark for a kids movie. Yeah, like,
Because he's a horrible
also good.
person.
it's amazing.
He murdered a
Oh
woman on the
no, a
steps
dark
of a
moment
church.
doesn't ruin a movie. Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
Darker than that, than Hellfire, is when he
A dumb
murders
moment.
a
Yeah, none
woman.
of these are dumb. That's the thing. I read through about half this. None of these so far are like dumb moments. Trauma is trauma. Don't judge people's traumatic triggers. I'm not. Had they said these were dark moments that scared them, like the previous thing where they were talking about dark moments, that's one thing. They said these moments ruin a movie. These don't. This is a different definition. Had they wrote bad moments that ruin the movie, and they wrote about scenes that were stupid or out of place, that's the thing. They're just talking about dark moments in movies.
Update from Riley. Disney movies are not about the plot for me.
That's true.
We're aware.
Again, this is another dark moment that, like, it
You
clearly
like
didn't ruin the
Descendants,
movie for you
so.
because this person admits that they didn't even get it as a child. Hunchback of Notre Dame, Frollo gave torturer instructions for dealing with a prisoner. It was such a small moment that went over my head as a kid, but it was so dark. Like, Hunchback is by far the darkest Disney movie.
Like, title.
Oh,
of the
I see.
article.
I didn't see the rest of what you wrote. I just wanted to explain. Okay. There are tons of scary things in Disney. Disney always has movies that traumatize people. Alice in Wonderland, when the walrus ate the baby oysters. It was so dark. Again, like had this person just been like, these are dark... Like, this should have been the previous article of dark moments we don't talk about in Disney. That's what should have been this one.
Riley says Angela liked Descendants too.
This is actually a scene that actually ruins the movie because it's so bad. When Woody decides to leave his friends behind in Toy Story 4.
Yeah, Toy Story 4 sucks.
Toy Story 4, that ruined the plot of, seriously, I kid you
Hey,
not, the
guys.
previous 3 movies.
That's why I didn't watch Toy Story 4.
Toy Story, you didn't miss anything. That movie sucks.
In Toy Story 1, 2, and 3, basically, the point of Toy Story, like, 1 and 2 is about, like,
As long as we're together.
you know, even if Andy doesn't love me forever, even if Andy moves on, even if whatever, I want to be here for Andy in this moment. Toy Story 3, it's about Andy, them giving up, you know, Andy's giving them away and them coping with the fact that, like, Andy won't be here forever and that's
Right.
okay, and now we're going with a new family. Toy Story 4, he goes, I'm mad that no one wants to play with me and no one loves me and my life is ruined, so I'm going to run away so kids will play with me.
All right, I'm gonna go on my Toy Story rant real quick.
Oh.
The mic is yours.
So, okay, Toy Story 2, as we all know, is a perfect film.
Yes. it
Toy
is
Story 2
perfect.
is a perfect film. It has zero flaws at all. It's a 100% perfect film. Toy Story 3 is butt ass. And I will fight anyone that Toy Story 3 is... I would say it was the worst Toy Story movie before Toy Story 4. Toy Story 3 is so dumb. The plot is so stupid. Because Toy Story 2 has this amazing punctuation at the end of the movie. That entire movie is about Woody being afraid that he's gonna die one day. So Woody... that's the plot of the movie. So Woody goes to all ends to achieve immortality. I'm not exaggerating. This is the plot of the film. And then at the end of the movie, he's like, you know what? Because Buzz says, there was one time when an old toy told me that life's only worth living if you've got like a kid to play with, or if you've got something to enjoy living for. And Woody takes it to heart, and at the end of Toy Story 2, Buzz says, are you still worried about Woody? Because one day Woody's going to grow up, or Andy's going to grow up, and Woody's going to die. He says, are you still worried about Andy? And Woody says, nah, it'll be fun while it lasts. And either way, I will always have old Buzz Lightyear to keep me company. Toy Story 3 and 4 both completely ignore this. The plot of Toy Story 3 is that, Woody's trying to stay with Andy even though he's growing up. And you could maybe argue that this is like, Woody's kind of going through his like midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Or like what is it called? Like there's like a term when parents start to stress out when their kids start
empty
moving
nest
out.
syndrome.
Yes. And so you could argue that Woody's going through that, but he goes to some
even so,
extents.
The end of 3 still is punctuated with, it's okay that Andy's gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is true.
They are still have come to the, it's okay.
So, after Toy Story 3...
My mom said, I like Mr. Spork in Toy Story 4. Of course you did, Mom. Of course you liked Sporky.
So Toy Story 3 ruined Toy Story 2, and then Toy Story 4 ruined Toy Story 3. So they just keep ruining each other.
Mom also
stopped it too.
The only ones that are good are 1 and 2. Those are the only ones that can coexist.
Mom,
I'm done.
Hey,
you can continue.
Mom liked live action Lion King, so of course you would like Sporky.
Also in Toy Story 4, Bonnie just forgot about Woody and put him in the closet with her old toys. I mean, yeah, I will agree, but that's the beginning of this movie getting bad.
It's also real stupid because Andy is like, hey, this is Woody. He's awesome. He's so
And she was like, whoa, this doll is awesome.
She found him like outside of the daycare and she loved him. She was like, this is my cowboy. And Andy tried to like
take him,
Well, because she was like, that's my cowboy. And Andy was like, no, mine.
My cowboy.
But she was like really excited to have the cowboy.
But the antique shop was dark and scary. Dude, the antique shop in Toy Story 4 was kind of freaky.
Okay, I promise I could talk about Toy Story 3 and 4 for like 10 hours. So I'm gonna...
Here's the next one. This is another one that like, this is not a scene that ruins the movie. This is the movie. This is the plot of the film. When Abuelita smashes Miguel's guitar in front of him in Coco. Yeah. Like, this is the plot of the film. This is not a scene that's so bad it almost ruins the movie.
You're telling me you were watching Coco and 10 minutes in you were like, this movie sucks, turning it off.
As someone with a wonderful Hispanic family, it made me so angry when Abuelita smashed Miguel's guitar. I don't care what people say. She was awful and this ruined everything. That's the point!
Do you guys know how films work?
The film?
There's this thing in a film that's important, or any story, it's called a conflict.
Okay, this I will agree. When Kristoff had his boy band song in Frozen 2, I need you to look at this, sweetie.
What? He does have a boy band song.
What?
I didn't watch Frozen 2.
We watched it. You just didn't pay
didn't
attention, and I didn't either.
Yeah, he did have a boy band song.
I will agree, that was bad.
Also, the movie clearly
Call
sets
out
him up
Ethan.
to be
He
gay
says he's
for
busy. It's popped up that he's playing Uno on Steam.
That's busy to me.
Swole nerd, I get that you're telling me Simba should have killed Kovu in Lion King 2. No one cares. It's again, it's a movie. Also, that would have required them to have thought about Kovu.
I don't think he knew Kovu existed.
I don't think he knew Kovu existed.
That was the whole
I was gonna
point.
say.
I don't think he knew.
Okay, again, a scene so bad it ruined the movie. When the prince found Snow White's seemingly dead body and decided to kiss her in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
We talked about this one
already. The prince kissed a supposedly dead girl. I felt so weird watching when you realize Snow White was only 14 and he's 31. Untrue.
Wait, he's not 31.
Incorrect age for the prince.
He's not.
They're around the same age. Also, she's not a stranger. This was his girlfriend. This was the woman he loved. Again, he kissed her goodbye. Because he thought she was dead.
Update from Riley. Okay, but the boy band scene was the only redeemable scene in Frozen 2, and that it's so bad it's good.
Ooh.
I really loved it. It was out of place, but it was...
Wasn't this movie in, like, the 50s? It was in, like, the 40s.
The 30s.
The 30s. It was the 30s, yeah.
The 30s. It was in the 30s. It was, like, 38 or something?
39, I think. I just looked
at it.
I just saw it.
It's an old film.
It's getting close to 100
I have the
years
Wikipedia open. 37.
Also on Snow White, when Snow accepted an apple from a total stranger, even though she knew the queen was trying to kill her. Part really irritated me when Snow White accepted the apple.
Because she's just so trusting.
That's the whole point. She's very trustworthy. She's so kind.
It's
That's why the queen hates her. Because she's so kind. That's why the queen doesn't like her. She's so kind and she loves everyone. She's so trusting and everything. Like... Okay. This one aged badly. I will agree with you here.
Oh, that one's, yeah.
When Tiger Lily and her family sang What Makes the Red Man Red.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
That one's fair. That we can, yeah.
Well, I'll concede it on these days. It's kind of like...
I agree. Watching that, I'm just sitting here like...
Well, it was fine in the 30s.
But it was the
40s.
30s.
Like, okay.
Yeah, but sitting here watching it, I'm like...
But nowadays...
This one is incorrect because, like, you didn't watch the whole scene. In Pocahontas, when Governor Radcliffe and the colonizers sang savages about the Native Americans, the line literally reads, "Savages, they're barely even human." I understand the premise of the movie, and I understand it was made a while ago, but I think for a children's movie it's a bit intense. If you watch the rest of the scene, the Native Americans sing the song about the colonizers as well. It's to show the duality of how, like, they both think the other is the savage. They both think the other is not human. They both believe they are the right and the other is in the wrong.
But also, would it...
So, the scene, you're misrepresenting the scene.
Also, would it be better to you to show kids, like, yeah, the white people weren't that bad?
Yeah, would
like,
it be better... Would it be better to say, look, the white people were nice. They didn't think anything bad. Like, at least
the white people were just nice and
like,
had
awful people.
There was only one bad guy there, and the rest were all nice and became friends.
Also, yeah, why would anyone freak out about an old lady with an apple? This is weird, and I'm trying to understand this. How did this ruin the movie? When Lion King and Timon and Pumbaa found Simba and taught him how to live...
What?
Timon and Pumbaa annoy me to no end. I watched the beginning, skipped the middle, and watched the end of the movie because of them. This doesn't sound like it's so bad. This sounds like you have a bad opinion. This means you don't like Lion King.
Also...
I hope you understand. What you are saying is you do not like the film The Lion King.
Also, if you skipped the middle of the film, you skipped the character stuff of them that
I
makes
think, I think that they mean that nowadays when they rewatch the
Oh, okay.
movies.
I'm about to say, because it's like...
You don't like The Lion King.
What's wrong with Timon and Pumbaa?
I mean, they're...
Man, this movie was great,
Okay.
but then they just started telling jokes.
Yeah. The fox and the Howlin' Todd was left in the woods.
That's just sad.
That's just sad. Again, it doesn't ruin the film, but it's just so sad.
And it's like, you watch Up, and you're
Oh,
like,
we've
this
talked
film
about this
sucks.
one. When
Because-
Belle fell in love with the beast who kept her
Yeah,
hostage.
we've talked about this one.
Ugh. Okay, again, this doesn't ruin the movie. This is just another dark
Violently
moment.
fell to his
When
death.
Gaston violently fell to his death. What other ending would you have seen for him?
Man, the movie was great until the villain died.
Yeah, the movie was great until the villain
It
died.
really ruined the rest of the experience.
Oh, here we go, sweetie. It's your scene.
Oh.
In Tarzan, when Clayton accidentally hung himself.
Yeah! Yeah, he kills himself in that movie.
I didn't like him, but the face he made and the fact that he hung himself unintentionally was insanely dark. Again, this is
That
not
was kind of messed up.
Well, I think it's part of it is like
Like
it
if
was
you're-
messed up, but it was supposed to like
Like if you're
be
showing your
representation.
like if you're watching that for the first time with like your kid, I don't know, that's kind of messed up.
I guess they don't like that humor, man. I mean,
get
these
it's
seem
supposed
more
to be
like they're
like
projecting their own subjective taste. I agree. A lot of this is like these people are just have a
Oh.
very.
I mean, do you guys not know what BuzzFeed is? It's
Oh yeah.
hey, write an article in 30 minutes to post.
So yeah, but that doesn't legitimize it.
No, I'm
And
not
Big Hero
legitimizing
6
that. That's
so-
like, that's why it's bad.
Yeah, in Big Hero 6 when Tadashi shockingly died at the beginning of the movie. I will say, him dying at the beginning of the movie did not ruin the movie for me. Finding out why he died at the beginning of the movie, now that was fucked up. That the guy just saved him. What was his name?
Callahan?
Callahan?
No.
Callahan just let Tadashi die when
I think that was
Tadashi...
his name.
Was Callahan?
Well, the one's Callahan... There's one guy who they thought was the bad guy,
I
and
think
there's
it
the
is
actual
Callahan.
bad guy.
Yes.
Okay, he goes in there
Yeah.
to save him, and the dude saves himself and lets Tadashi die so he can bring his daughter back. Like, great, you brought your daughter back.
I
You
mean-
killed Tadashi.
I mean, let's be
He
real.
killed Adachi.
Adachi.
Okay,
I almost said
I
it.
will say on the other side, he didn't mean to let Tadashi die and kill Tadashi. He didn't know Tadashi was running in there. He didn't
But
expect Tadashi
still,
to.
he set the place on fire.
He did kill Tadashi. He did not purposefully like let Tadashi die or kill him. So
The Three Caballeros. This is a new one on here.
You talk about Donald?
In the Three Caballeros, when the three friends fly over... The three
Yeah.
friends, you don't even know their names. Fly over the beach filled with women, and Donald remarked
Alright,
how
okay,
hot they all looked.
Okay, quiz for the chat. What are the names of the three caballeros?
What are the
I know
names of the
Donald.
Three
You-
Caballeros?
You get a freebie and it's Donald.
it's
You get
Donald
Donald.
Duck.
As a whole, seriously, they don't
been a
say
while.
any of their names. They just say Donald in here.
I know all of their names. I know you know all of their names. Do you know all of their names?
I do not.
So, as a whole, it was a pretty wacky film, and then the three friends go on a carpet ride over the beach, filled with only attractive women, who Donald refers to as hot stuff. It was a completely disgusting moment and portrayed Donald as a rampant, horny duck. He spent the rest of the film salivating over women. It was just so disgusting. Do y'all know who Donald Duck is as a character?
Yo, this was the 40s.
This was the 40s!
Oh, yeah, okay.
I just saw them in DuckTales earlier, and I don't. I'm gonna give the chat like 10 minutes to figure out the three caballeros. Don't look it up.
I did already, but...
Would you have guessed either of those names?
No. I would not. I legit... I wouldn't have guessed anything. I couldn't remember.
Okay, I can understand
But
how
I
this
remember
song...
now.
A bit of all the songs in Frozen that ruined it for you, it was Fixer Upper.
Yeah.
In Frozen, when the trolls sang Fixer Upper when Anna and Kristoff came to visit. I love Frozen, but I hate this song. It's a horrible message to send to kids that they can fix people if they love them hard enough.
That was not the point of the song, though.
So, of all the songs that ruined Frozen for you, was that one? For me, it was In Summer, when Olaf sang
That's
about
it.
how he wanted to be in summer. So,
No.
Swole Nerd got close.
Can I-
you got
Swole
close.
Nerd's close. He's got one of
He
them
got-
right, one of them's close, and the other one is
How did you not
Donald.
get Donald?
Yeah, the third one is Donald.
The third one's Donald. Okay, I want to say something about Fixer Upper because I will also say I'm a bit of a Frozen expert. The point of the song literally says, yeah, they're Fixer Upper, and yeah, you can work on that, and you guys can work on it together, but everyone's a Fixer Upper. And she literally says, we're not saying you can change him, because people don't really change. The only thing we're saying is that love's a force and
Well,
it's powerful.
it's not like they were trying to fix him because he's, like, abusive. They're trying to fix him because he, like, doesn't
He's
shower
weird.
enough.
Because he doesn't shower and he's kind of smelly
They're just
and he,
saying-
like, eats reindeer food.
They're just saying, we know he's weird. We get it. We love him.
But, like, seriously, if Fixer Upper was a song that ruined Frozen for you, me and you gonna fight? Because obviously
There's
you
some
forgot about...
worse songs.
You forget about In Summer?
In summer.
Olaf's song didn't ruin it for you?
God, trying to help, like, direct Frozen the musical with, like, 80 kids singing In
Again,
Summer
this didn't
nonstop
ruin the
was
movie.
the
This
worst.
was, like, the plot of the movie.
So, Riley says, you know good and
Oh, I haven't
well, I
seen
don't know the three caballeros names.
Alrighty, I guess I'm just
I've
gonna
not
give it
watched
to him because
Onward.
nobody else knows the Caballero.
It's Jose. That one's right. Donald. That one's right. And
Jose.
Panchito.
Panchito and Donald.
See,
So,
how did you get Jose right but not Donald?
The Mexican, the Brazilian, and their white friend.
yeah! So, when Ian was trapped and couldn't meet his dad after he was resurrected in Onward, like, it was a painstaking mission and Ian didn't even get the chance to hug his dad. It sucked. That was kind of the point. The whole point was that he realized...
That's
he
what
did-
ruined Onward for you?
I
Yeah,
haven't
for
seen
one, for
Onward,
real.
So I don't know.
That movie was butt ass.
Also, like, the whole point of the film is that he realized everything he wanted from his dad, he already had in his brother, and that his brother meant a lot to him. Spoilers, by the way, I guess, if you guys haven't watched Onward. But, like, yeah, the whole point was that, like, I have my brother.
I've not seen the movie, but I think
the whole point, he has a checklist. He
yeah.
has a checklist of all the things he wants to do with his dad.
Yeah.
He realizes at the end of the movie, after he can't meet his dad, that everything on that checklist he did with his brother.
Yeah, it's the
And
same
that his
thing.
brother
It's
is, like, everything he needed. You're everything I need.
They said the same thing in, like, Dimension 20. Like, she finally meets her dad, and he's like, you're putting a lot on me because you've not met me before, but your mom's been here raising you the whole time, and you...
Also, Mom totally got, like... She got shafted in that film. What about
Yeah.
Mom? Like, Mom raised the
That's
two
exactly
this
what
whole time.
He's like, she
What about
raised
a
you.
lot of stuff in that movie?
She raised you
Yeah.
and you hate her. You've known me for
This
2 hours
does
and you
ruin
love
the
me.
film of... This movie was bad anyway, though. In the Lion King live-action remake, when they cut Be Prepared.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also,
that's fair.
Hey, also...
Here, again, another dark moment that doesn't ruin the film. In Dumbo, when Dumbo's mom was taken away from him. Again, it's...
That's... No,
Okay,
I would have...
okay,
so they're just
person-
missing the point of half these movies. Exactly what I'm saying.
Person who wrote this article, did you honestly watch Dumbo?
Okay,
Like,
again...
be real with me.
Out of the scenes that would have ruined Dumbo for you, if
I
you
don't
said,
believe you watched
hey,
Dumbo.
the racist scene when he's
Yes.
high on drugs and then he wakes up to the racist
The
crows.
Song of the Roustabouts? Oh
Like,
my god, that's so racist.
He does drugs and then wakes up
There's,
to
like,
racist crows. It's like...
There are literally slaves in Dumbo.
Yeah, that's...
Literally slaves.
We're
like,
gonna do a
actual
quiz
enslaved
now.
black people are in that movie.
But
but-
Dumbo's mom getting taken away ruined it for you.
I mean,
Bambi's mom gets murdered.
We're going to do a quiz and actually see how hard these quizzes are. Because... Okay, who is Cinderella's sidekick? Oh, so they just give me a picture. That's not Cinderella's sidekick. They put Gus Gus.
What?
Instead of Jacques.
What?
I would have put Jacques. That's Gus.
It is Gus.
Who's Ariel's sidekick? Let's see. They put Flounder. Okay.
Oh, wait, this is...
Elsa's fire spirit sidekick, whatever this lizard is.
Yeah.
Bruni.
Bruni.
Jasmine's sidekick.
Raja.
I wouldn't even say
Rapunzel's
Bruni is a
sidekick.
sidekick.
Pascal.
Yeah. What? So they got all the rest of these right. Why put Gus Gus instead of Jacques?
Probably didn't watch
I would also say Bruni is not her sidekick. I mean,
Belle's
at least they put
sidekick?
fire.
Who do you think they put for Belle's sidekick?
I mean, don't look at the phone.
Who do I think they put?
Yeah.
Philippe?
Lumiere.
Lumiere. What?
Yeah.
Mulan's sidekick, Mushu and Cricket.
Yeah, her...
Mandalore the Inebriated. I just tried to watch the live-action Lion King. Half the time it feels like the characters aren't talking, but then there's audio from Star Wars last week. Night dubbed in.
The raccoon whose name I forget. Miko.
If you're gonna put, like, their animal sidekicks, it would be
sidekick in
Philippe.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Not the king.
I guess, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Olaf.
it's Moana.
Moana. They put Pua, but honestly,
Pua-
Hey Hey was her sidekick.
No, Pooh was her sidekick. Hey Hey was
No.
Hey Hey was conflict in that movie.
Pua was who they advertised was going to be her sidekick and who all the merchandise has as her sidekick, but Pua wasn't even in that movie.
Hey Hey does no sidekickness. He's only conflict.
Aurora's sidekick. No, Merryweather.
Did you really?
Yeah,
That's
I
the
was gonna
wrong
say,
movie.
Merryweather.
Mistress Fairyweather?
Yeah.
No, I always get Snow White and Sleeping Beauty mixed up.
Why
I was
is
like,
Merryweather the one instead?
she had like the birds. That's what I was looking for. I was
none
like,
of them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Snow White,
Yeah, but-
Dopey.
But
okay.
why Merryweather out of the three specifically?
don't know.
Why Dopey?
Esmeralda, the goat.
Really? Wait, does this
Giselle,
say
the little
Disney?
tip.
Does this say Disney princesses or does this say
I think it's
I
just,
think-
Disney characters?
What am I missing? Oh,
Jane.
Jane's sidekick. Okay. Turk. Okay.
what?
Tiana's. Yeah.
Sidekicks are dead.
Ray is
Okay.
Tiana's sidekick.
What?
Wait. Let me see. Let me see what the exact question is. Disney sidekick. Okay, it doesn't specify anything. Okay, it
Yeah.
just says Disney sidekicks. Why are these the side?
Yeah, they put.
Why Dopey? Yeah.
Here are Disney's 16 most popular sidekicks. Can you match them to their princesses?
They're princesses. Okay.
This is
so-
easy, and I barely watch Disney. They basically put one character from the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
it's like, can you just match these characters from the same movie?
How obsessed with Disney are you? Check off all the characters you know to find out.
Oh.
Incredibly.
So,
Oh.
you go through and you click every character you know.
Let's say you know their name.
Oh, the names are
It
there.
gives the names. Okay.
Riley says, I feel like they're misinterpreting side characters as sidekicks.
Yeah.
Sky High would never.
Let's say names that you knew before seeing them.
Yeah, no, I'm doing characters I'm
'Cause
familiar with
did
that I
not
know what
Georgette.
what movie they're from.
I mean, I know what they're from. I know what Stretch is from. I could not have told you his name though. So no, yeah, Pearl, Mr. Crump.
Yeah,
Why
because
did
they have
put
the
Cena
names.
in here from Moana.
They have the names, so it's not even like, ooh, can you recognize this character? You know.
Art. Georges, King Triton. This is.
Doc Hudson.
Oh, God. Ew.
Oh, it's the lesbian.
It's the lesbian cop monster.
The
Knock.
Unfortunately,
Bruni.
recognize that.
They did not
Easy.
put. They did not put the wind elemental guy from Frozen 2.
Yeah, I knew like all except I recognized all except one, and I
It
think
was Georgette.
I couldn't tell what she was from. I wasn't familiar with her.
Georgette?
Yeah,
She's
Probably Oliver and Company.
maybe. I'm sure.
I've never seen Oliver and Company. That one's a gap in my Disney knowledge.
yeah.
Well, if you recognize the character, I haven't seen the movie or haven't in a while. I mean, I just clicked.
Yeah,
off
it just
anyway.
says recognized. That's not even.
Yeah, and like it's not making you name them.
Yeah,
Like if
it's-
it was making you name them, that would have been a way harder quiz. I wouldn't have known it.
I mean, I would. Yeah.
21 weird things in movies that were never addressed. We're gonna get into some weird stuff again. Okay. In Cinderella, so this one is like always a big question, right? And I don't necessarily have an answer for it. The fairy godmother's magic disappears, but the glass slippers remain intact. I just kind of always assumed that fairy godmother was like giving her a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I got you.
Yeah, I think it's fairy godmother did not give her what she wanted.
No.
She gave her what she needed.
So, like, the transformations lasted until midnight. Everything else, she transformed.
Yeah.
She created the glass slippers.
That's true.
Or already had them on her at the time. Everything else she used her magic on was a transformation.
Yeah, like
she transformed the rags into the dress. She transformed the pumpkin into the carriage. The
But I thought
animals
Cinderella
into
was
the...
wearing shoes at that part.
No.
If she was,
She
they
still
weren't
got
the
new
glass
ones.
slippers.
Yeah. Yeah, she transformed her old torn up dress into the new one. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I also think
The
it's
poodle
like
was Oliver and Company. The one I didn't recognize was Oliver and Company.
I think
So.
part of it is fairy godmother kind of orchestrated this a little bit. She
mean,
kind of
yeah.
orchestrated it. You know, because everyone says the shoe fits exactly, but why did it come off? Because fairy godmother magic. She made it happen.
We got into this one already.
Yeah.
Prince Charming tries to have every young woman in the country try on the slipper Cinderella left behind. The plan to
already-
lease is unfeasible. How many maidens? Blah, 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 blah. Whatever.
Well, I mean,
Again, the
First
king...
of all, the description is wrong because it wasn't Prince Charming. But
Yeah.
we went over it.
Also, not everyone was at
In
the
The Lion
ball.
King, if Scar wants to be king so much he's willing to have his family members killed, why didn't he kill Mufasa years ago, long before Simba was born? Because then they would have known it was him. That's my guess, at least.
Yeah, he was able to blame it on Simba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needed a scapegoat.
At the end of Little Mermaid, Ariel and Eric get married, but she's 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
So?
Yeah.
It's-
I mean,
she's a Disney princess, whatever.
what are we looking at again? Things that were never addressed in Disney movies. That's what we're looking at.
Who cares?
Never addressed. And
Okay, this one is kind of silly. In Tarzan, if Jane and her family are from London, they teach Tarzan English.
yeah.
Why does he have an American accent?
Okay, yeah,
Same-
this one's actually ridiculous.
same question for Beauty and the Beast. Why is everyone British?
But they live in France.
But they live in
It's
France.
just translated weird.
Well, no, I mean,
Like they're speaking French in canon.
well,
which is
no, but I
translated.
mean, in
Sorry,
the
my shoulders are
in
kind
the
of sore.
in the original movie they have American accents, but in the live action they're all British
Yeah.
except for
No, they're-
one.
Yeah, why not?
But yeah, that one is kind of weird because British is the language of olden days. Yeah. Yeah, no, this one doesn't make sense and it's never addressed.
It's like because in the original only one person is British because he's like
Well, yeah,
from Britain.
accent doesn't matter because we're the movie in canonically. they're
Oh my
speaking
goodness,
French.
now we're getting into misogyny.
Ooh.
When Snow White arrives at an unknown cottage in the woods, she cleans it. There's a lot of bad stuff with women in Disney movies. Snow White shines in that regard, but this is laughably bonkers.
She just likes
Other
cleaning.
moments of Snow White misogyny include the Queen being terrified of Snow White will be prettier than she, the Queen asking her mirror every day to tell her who's the fairest of them all, and Snow White meeting the prince the day she becomes the fairest and not a moment sooner.
Because our villain is vain.
Yeah.
Woo!
One. Why did she clean the cottage? Because she wanted
'Cause it was
to.
dirty.
Tino likes cleaning. Or
Yeah, I mean, like, come on, it's not
Like,
that big a deal. Like,
you like cleaning. You clean when you're, bored. She was bored.
she does. For one thing, she didn't know anyone lived there. She thought it was abandoned, so she was cleaning it up because she was going to stay there. Like, you wouldn't do that? Also, like, the queen is just vain. That's just kind of the whole point, that the queen is vain and dislikes... Also, by the way, the queen is her stepmother. No one remembers that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people forget that one.
Queen's are mama.
Snow White came out in 1937. Feminism wasn't some wildly acceptable concept back then.
There you have it, folks. Was that a Riley quote?
That was a Riley quote.
And some people just clean shit if they go into a messy room. Visited my friend and basically cleaned his kitchen. Exactly. I mean,
I would
it's
have
like...
made it more messy. This is wrong. I
Also,
would've made it
never,
more
like...
messy.
this isn't something that's never addressed. This is just you wanting to put 2021 glasses onto a 30s movie.
Yeah.
And Snow White knows the queen is trying to have her killed. Why does she sleep on a stranger's bed in an unknown cottage? She thinks she's in the woods, she thinks she's safe, and she thinks it's an abandoned cottage.
Yeah.
Like...
Knows the queen... Are you not gonna sleep when you think someone's gonna kill you?
I will never sleep again.
In Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent curses Aurora to prick her finger in the spindle of the spinning wheel and die before the sun sets on her 16th birthday. That's so unnecessarily specific.
That's because that's how fairy curses work.
That's fair.
It is a little specific.
I mean, that's how fairy curses work, right, guys? I mean...
It's a little oddly specific.
It is a little oddly specific.
That one's fair. I'll give them that one. But it's at least funny.
But I mean, like... Well, but the 16th birthday was important, though, because that's the whole thing. I think the whole thing is that because at 16 she was going to her coronation and everything, so she wanted her to do it before her 16th birthday.
But like, the curse only works if she pricks her finger on a very specific enchanted spinning wheel. That's
any spinning wheel.
Any spinning wheel.
She created an enchanted one because they had tossed all the spinning wheels.
The spinning wheel is still pretty specific. That's still
a little specific.
Well, okay, if I'm correct, like there's like a thing about curses that the more specific they are, the more powerful they are. Like if I curse you to have a bad day. You know, it's like but if you curse like a more specific thing, it's harder to like break.
Never addressed. Okay, no one tells Aurora about the curse. It would be so much safer to tell her everything if she knew she'd never go near the spindle. Yeah, but they had it covered.
I hate these photos. Pointed to her. Should know about her own curse.
Like...
I feel like she was
Have you ever met a teenager? She'd be like, I'll be fine.
Well, like, when she went into the room that had the spinning wheel, when she pricked her finger on it, it wasn't like a weird accident. Like, she was being hypnotized and controlled into doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that telling her would have affected the outcome. At the end of the day, Maleficent still would have controlled her into doing it.
The curse was not if she pricks her finger, it's that she will.
Yeah.
There's no choice. She's going to.
Yeah.
And that's like part of like if the
curse
day
is specific, after Pinocchio is brought to life, he heads off to school. He's a very recently sentient puppet walking to school. His dad's being a good dad. He sent him to school. Like, what's wrong with that? How is that something that's weird and never addressed?
He wanted to be a real normal boy.
Oh my god, are we getting into this? Pocahontas' hair stays flawless while she's in the middle of a wind spiral. Come on.
Can I address this one?
That's a fair one.
Well, can I address this one? She's a cartoon character.
I'll give him that one.
Here's one never addressed. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say no one knew her. Cinderella's stepmother banishes her to live in the attic, but no one Cinderella knew beforehand ever checks in on her. I doubt before her father died, Cinderella was a normal child. Why didn't anyone notice she disappeared?
Lady Tremaine just probably told everyone she died.
Yeah, or, you know, her father was like, it's kind of implied that her father was kind of eclectic. You know, it's possible no one really knew them.
Yeah.
In various versions of Cinderella, which are like, her father is like a traveling salesman, and she never sees him anyway.
In some, he's still alive. Like in Into the Woods, he's still alive. A lot of the.
So in a lot of them, like he's eclectic or he's just traveling, and so she never sees him anyway before he died, and so it's possible just no one really knows her.
Also, they kind of.
They also didn't have CPS back then. You could do what you fucking wanted with your kids.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of also a little bit.
Oh my god! Again, this goes back to what you were saying earlier. Even with how terrible Cinderella's situation is, her fairy godmother gives her clothes. She doesn't give her a better home or money.
She does. She gets her a castle.
Okay, this one
also
is...
because she didn't fairy godmother said, hey, what you want? And she said, I want to go to a party.
You have to remember, Cinderella doesn't ask for much. She's very small.
Yeah.
And some prince dick. Yeah.
That's not why she wanted to go to the party, though. That just kind
of that's what she got, though.
That is what she got.
Ariel from The Little Mermaid really loves humans and all that, but she does no research. She has to think to remember the word street.
Okay,
So what does she love about humans exactly?
I agree with this one 10 million%. If you wanted to be an astronaut, and you were like, man, I want to go to space. I really want to go to the moon. That's what it's called. I forgot for a second.
Although, okay, but think about this.
She gets all her information about humans from a seagull who spouts nonsense.
She doesn't remember the word feet. 2 of her best friends have feet. Sebastian and Scuttle have feet.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what feet are.
I mean, she apparently does do some research at least, because she knows kind of what a fire
What's
is.
so weird about this?
She's heard of a fire.
In
There's
Sleeping
fire
Beauty,
under the
in
ocean.
Sleeping Beauty, Prince Philip is from
It's like
another
lava.
kingdom. So
Like
why is
kind
he
of
wandering
fire,
around
a
in the
little bit.
forest next to the fairy's cottage? He's there because he's going to the castle to be there for Aurora's coronation. And for his
He's meant to marry her.
he's
Why
meant to
would he not
marry
be
her.
there?
That's why he's there.
Do y'all need a copy of the script?
You don't need a copy of the script.
I don't think people
And more importantly,
understand
he
that.
kisses Aurora while she's asleep. We just not going to talk about
The
that.
fairies told him to.
Okay,
Fairy
that's
told him to. He's destined to marry her. Like they're betrothed.
so.
That's the.
Here's from Riley. Some of the people who submit these opinions need to strive to be more like me when watching movies. Just don't pay attention with the plot, and you won't be bothered by plot holes that you made up on your own.
Yeah.
So when people, just because people are from different kingdoms doesn't mean they don't interact and aren't.
But again, he has a reason to be there because
Yeah.
he's there for her coronation because she's getting coronated and they're getting wed.
Also, everyone back then, if they were in a royal family, they were related probably. Like, these families were very interconnected. Like, and then kisses her while she's asleep. The title of this is like Things Not Addressed. This was addressed.
Yeah.
He was told to.
Here's the other one: the non-consensual kiss between Snow White and the
This
prince.
is like the third time we've
She's
done that.
not dead. They think she is. They thought she was.
Okay, but he does fake it. Why does the Queen of Snow White demand a huntsman return Snow White's heart in a box as proof she's dead? It's both very intense and easy to fake,
We know
which is why
you
he
mean
fakes
Tara.
it. He fakes it and
He
he
does
puts
fake
the
it.
heart of like a deer in it,
A pig.
a pig.
You want to get it right.
She does.
I'm from, people travel. I'm from Atlanta. God forbid I go to Alabama. Exactly. What's so wrong with him being in a different place? Another thing, not addressed. Aristocats, Madame Adelaide puts in her will that her cats will get her fortune. Her cats.
Wait, not addressed? That's what the
That's the
movie's
That's the
about.
plot.
That's what the movie is about. What do you mean?
Also, it's not that weird because you can do it legally in real life.
Y'all,
People
I
do.
know I've been joking about this all night, but I mean it more than ever now. Do you need a copy of the script?
Yeah.
And after her cats
That's
die,
the main plot of the film.
after her cats die, the fortune will go to Edgar, but that's not good enough for him, so he tries to kill the cats and get the money sooner. Jesus Christ, Edgar.
Wait until she's actually dead to try and murder the cats, right?
And
Like-
here's the
lastly-
stupid-
Like, if you
it's
kill the
stupid.
cats, you're not going to get the money because she's still alive.
We've already done this one. And lastly, Ariel from The Little Mermaid can write. She signs Ursula's contract, but she doesn't write down anything to communicate with Eric.
Sure.
Don't know what to tell you there,
Whatever.
man.
Yeah, fine. Fair. You
That
got
one
one.
is hey guys, that one is not addressed. You are correct. Good job.
Okay.
1 point.
Disney parent. There's no way you can correctly identify all 16 of these Disney parents.
Right.
Yeah.
I missed one of them on here. It was the one from Raya and the Last Dragon. The
Oh
movie
yeah,
that I
the
didn't
brand
watch.
new one. That
Marlin from Finding Nemo.
we
Sir Anderson from Inside Out. Simba from Lion King 2.
Huh.
Oh no, I clicked the wrong
Tina,
one.
you.
I was going too fast.
Did you click Mufasa?
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's bad at this.
I was going too
From
fast.
Soul,
Yeah, I was like, wait,
Mrs. Anderson. Chief.
no. I got the wrong one.
Wait. Oh,
No.
it's the girl.
It's the woman, I see. This is guessed by the art, yeah. James from Princess and the Frog. Chicha. Sir Davis from Toy Story.
If they just gave the names and not the movie that
Like
they're
Miss
from,
Davis, okay.
this would be a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
Like, how many of y'all... I mean, I would, because I'm a freak. But
From
how many of y'all
Coco.
would know who Chicha is?
Hey, there's
I would've
only
known
one
Chicha.
character on here from Coco. It's like
I mean, yeah, it's like...
Lawrence from Phineas and Ferb. There's only one character in here from Phineas and Ferb.
Like, if they had just said Lawrence.
Mufasa.
Like, I would
Yeah.
know that, because I love Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah,
But
I
how
mean,
many
again,
other
you guess
Also,
it by the
they
art
wanted
style.
to say
There's like...
you're not going to get any of them. That's why we put a trick question on here of two lions that look the exact same.
Yeah.
And two bitches from Raya and the Last Dragon, a movie that nobody saw. Do you know that movie lost like a hilarious amount of money?
Disney song lyric quiz. You're either a genius or a cheater.
Okay, I actually like failed this one.
Okay,
like, super
wait.
bad. I actually kind of sucked at it.
Scroll down.
I don't know because I'm getting... This is where I'm meant to be. I'm getting
That's what I'm
I
thinking.
can go the distance.
That's what I was thinking too.
What is this from? It's Also Clear I'm Where I'm Meant to Be. Is it a Moana song?
In my head, I can only hear I Can Go the Distance.
Right? What is this one?
Don't look at me. I got like a 60.
It's not... is it Tangled? Probably Tangled? Is that from...
Yeah.
Don't look at me. I got like a 60 on this.
It's from I See the Light.
Oh! This is when...
I'm meant to be, and at last I see.
Yeah.
you.
I thought of that. I was like, I think
Your
it's...
rainbow will come smiling through. That's Cinderella.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's easy.
And a question of if, just a matter of time.
Oh, this one I got. I know this one. I'm gonna be very disappointed if y'all don't get this one.
If it's the one Gavin knows, it's probably from the Goofy movie.
It might be from the Goofy.
Yep, stand out from the Goofy movie. There's something in him that I simply didn't see. Beauty and the Beast. Fairy tales come true. You gotta make them happen. It all depends on you.
Yeah. That's the main song.
See,
Oh, yeah. I know that one.
What is this?
Tina, read it.
Oh, Moana. I was like, wait, what?
Read it.
What was the line? I am
Cannot
Moana.
hide who I am.
You know this one.
Yeah. Some of them are taking me a minute. Have each other. It's just you and me. What are we?
It's Anna.
Yeah. The gleam in your eyes is a so familiar gleam.
I think I know that one.
I think that's Aurora.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, Once Upon a Dream.
Yeah, I was about to say that's Once Upon a Dream.
You're way up.
Oh, that one's easy.
Say it. Yeah. That's
This
Meg.
one's kind of a legit quiz.
This is. You walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll know
That
things
one's
together.
easy.
Yeah, colors of the wind. Yeah. Are you someone out there who's a little bit like me? Not where I'm meant to be.
And I will find my way. I can go the distance. No.
No. I don't know this one. Is this from Frozen 2?
Tina, it's Ariel. Tina,
I can't-
are you? Who knows deep down I'm not where I'm meant to.
Oh.
I mean I got it.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not?
It was Into the Unknown.
Oh, it's Into the Unknown? I swore. Okay, never mind. I'm wrong.
Okay. Well, we got 11 out of 12. I got the one from the movie I haven't seen.
I mean, I've also only seen it twice, so I don't know what you expect from me.
That one's legit. That one gets the seal of approval.
That's
Into
actually
the
a
Unknown.
good one.
Wait, scroll back up. What is the lyric for it?
Are you someone out there who's a bit like me who knows deep down where I'm not where I'm meant to be?
Because like they didn't pick
Okay.
like from the main chorus.
Yeah.
Like I expected
Most of
this
these-
one would be like
The first one really I know
have to-
Tangled, but that first one is really hard because they've got that I'm where I'm meant to be, which
it
it's
sounds
so
like
close
Hercules.
to Hercules.
All of them are very close
Like if one of the lines was like why did they send me daughters when I asked for sons? Like
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like-
expecting stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, very obvious.
Well, no,
ones.
I mean,
So this one, I want to see how many of these I actually
forgot
noticed.
Panic at the Disco is Into the Unknown. Into the Unknown's Panic at the Disco. I forgot about that. You didn't know that?
What is Into the Unknown? What movie is that from?
It's Frozen 2.
Frozen 2.
There's Panic at the Disco. Is
Her
in
singing
the
about being
credits,
a tall right.
it's
No,
Panic
it's
at
I
the
See
Disco.
the Light. It's a song between her and Eugene at the end. So I want to know how many of these I actually noticed. 18 details from Disney movies that this person only just noticed. And I want to see how many of these I actually noticed before that. So this I didn't notice, but like it's so obvious. In Disney's Mulan, Mushu flips the newspaper from left to right because traditional Chinese text is in columns going from right to left. So he's reading it like.
I think that one was in the YouTube video that lady did of like things.
This
from
I
Mulan.
don't think this is what they think it is. In Disney Pixar's Onward, I spotted a familiar looking gauntlet grabbing stones.
It's just a glove, man.
It's just a gauntlet. It's not grabbing stones. It's grabbing like balls and
Doesn't even
plushies.
look
Yeah.
like.
Like it doesn't look like the Infinity
that one's-
Gauntlet.
I mean,
Maybe. That's like
I
a
mean,
maybe.
it's the same color.
I'll give that one a
It's-
possibly.
Yeah. Oh, I see. They're talking about I think they're talking about this one on here, but
Oh,
still.
yeah.
I was looking at the gauntlet in,
Yeah, I was looking at the
but
gauntlet.
either way,
I mean, yeah,
Maybe.
I think it's a possible, but I don't think that's what they're referencing.
I mean, maybe.
This prop, I hadn't seen this movie, and Saving Mr. Banks. So I'm gonna skip this one. Oh.
Oh, it's the same one.
Coco. In Coco, the Riviera family of shoemakers started in 1921, the same year Walt Disney made his first animation. I think that's cute. I hadn't noticed that.
Well, that's a nice little detail.
In the 1940 animated Fantasia shows the dinosaurs dying off as the result of an intense drought. The theory of mass extinction as a result of an asteroid strike wasn't proposed until 1980. In Enchanted, the troll that chased Giselle to be in the movie is wearing a loincloth made up of the peasant dresses from the previous Disney princesses.
Oh.
I hadn't noticed that one either.
Okay. Nemo brand.
Gusteau's Pantry in Ratatouille stocks a few cans of Nemo brand caviar. To quote the YouTube channel Cinema Wins, that's dark Pixar, real dark. I didn't notice that either. Nemo caviar.
I'm surprised the Carlin brothers have never done like a
I noticed
30-minute
BVD
video
on Merlin's underpants. After some Google digging, he thinks this figured out what it means. Buena Vista Distribution.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, on Merlin's boxers in Merlin.
In Merlin?
This cameo, in case you were wondering where John Ratzenberger was in Soul. In Soul, John Ratzenberger, who voiced a character in every Pixar movie, does not have a speaking part. Instead, he has a non-speaking cameo as his likeness was used for some of the background characters in the subway scene. Confirmed by co-director Kemp Powers. I see.
I'm assuming that everyone knows about the John Ratzenberger connection.
I hadn't until just now.
Well, like in Pixar movies, like John Ratzenberger. He's in every Pixar movie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the voice of Ham.
He's
the
Ham's
Abominable
voice.
Snowman.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to call it out if they don't, but now, so I can actually prove. Nemo's original voice actor is in Dory 2 as one of the. Yeah.
In Frozen 2013 features accurate Norse runes. Disney consulted with Jack Crawford, a leading international expert in Old Norse. Crawford made several minor plot changes and quotes voice actor Robert Pine, who played the bishop in the coronation scene, delivered a speech in the Norse language.
I think this article might be legit.
This is really nice attention to detail.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, well, you know why? Because this is from our movie details.
They just stole from Reddit. I mean,
they stole from Reddit. Okay,
they just stole from Reddit. They didn't actually write this one.
It is now becoming clear.
The only thing they wrote was the titles of each number. The split-second bit of writing from Genie.
Disney
the actual
have tons
writing
of
is
disgusting
actually
subliminal
from
messages in their movies involving sex. I also believe furries exist because of Disney. Okay, Earth is not our globe.
I don't think furries exist because of Disney. I think Disney awakened
in Aladdin, during the
of
song
furries.
"Friend Like Me," when Genie mentions taking Aladdin's order, Disney animators had Genie write "turkey pilaf" in Persian to match the Middle Eastern setting.
Oh,
that's cool. I didn't notice that.
I didn't realize that it was
this
Persian.
detail where Pixar pokes fun at itself. In Toy Story 4, a car has a license plate RMRF 97. In 97, someone at Pixar accidentally typed RF, deleting the entire Toy Story 2 movie from Pixar database. Fortunately, the film's supervising technical director had a copy at home, and the movie was restored. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Riley is now sending us BuzzFeed articles. Don't worry, we have enough.
This is probably going to need a part 2.
Oh no, this will need a part 3.
7.
And
we've got like 30 articles.
God, this file is so big. We're on like Article 5 out of 20.
We're right here on our list.
We will, if anyone else wants to send articles, we will accept them.
Yeah, send articles, and we'll do a couple
this
more.
This might be like a bi-monthly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Pixar's 2018 short "Bao" is a play on words. Pronounced "bao" is the Mandarin Chinese word for dumpling. However, the pronunciation is shared by something else, meaning treasure or baby, and meaning protect or defend. I see. Yeah,
that's cute. So it's
can confirm that one. That's awesome.
I knew it meant dumpling. I didn't know about the other.
Yeah, I knew dumpling.
Oh, that's cute.
I guess it's a homonym. That's the
word. I want to commend this article, but it's all stolen.
It's all stolen. No, I'm commending Reddit right now. I hate Reddit.
Lord of the Rings reference. Okay. And onward, early in the film, we see a restaurant called Burger Shrine, a reference to Lord of the Rings.
Burger Shire. Read it right.
Burger Shire. I read Shrine. Sorry. Is a reference to Lord of the Rings. The sign on the pole reads, "Now serving second breakfast." All of Chinese is a homonym. It's a pain. That sucks. Chinese is dumb. The soda is called Mountain Doom. In Onward. That's awesome.
The one good thing about Onward.
In Raya and the Last Dragon, Hey Hey from Moana can be seen. Interesting. Okay. What are you doing, Hey Hey?
Isn't Raya just like Moana?
And finally,
but, like,
It's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
okay.
the carpet from the song How Far
But
Ago
don't tell anyone that you'll get
in the
canceled
movie
like
Moana
Lindsay
is a
Ellis.
replica of Aladdin's magic carpet in Aladdin.
Oh, I think I knew that one. I think I had seen that
Interesting.
one before.
Ladies and
This
gentlemen,
one was
we
pretty-
found one good thing about Moana.
Okay, so they didn't say what I said. So, I got them. They didn't.
Well, share what yours was.
I already did.
I
It's the
didn't hear
Nemo
what it
one.
was.
Nemo's, when Finding Dory came out, Nemo got a new voice actor, but the original voice actor, voiced, I think it was like a crab or something.
I want to say that a similar thing happened with Incredibles 2 with Dash's voice actor, but I could be wrong.
So
about
I want
that
to put this one out to you guys. What is your most... So this is how they make these articles. They put out one of these, what's the most underrated moment of all time, and then they collect answers, and then they make an article.
So they make some of
So
them.
I'm asking for you guys, what is your most overlooked, underrated, animated Disney
them they
moment
just steal
of
from
all
Reddit.
time? Any animated Disney movie, not just the princess movies. So
Disney movie underrated.
I know
Obviously,
Gavin's is the entire Goofy movie.
I was actually going to say the Goofy movie.
Obviously, Aladdin
The moment when they're on the top of the car and they're like floating down the river rapids, and and Goofy and Max are arguing, and Max says, like Dad, just leave me alone. I want my own life. And Goofy says, I know. I just want to be a part of it.
Oh, that's such a good moment. Oh, I forgot about that moment.
I'm like tearing up just thinking about it because it's such a good moment.
Disney movie moment.
Any animated moment. Goofy movie indeed. Goofy functions. I mean, Goofy is not... I wouldn't say he's the bad guy, but yes, he functions as the sort of...
He's the antagonistic force of that film.
Yeah.
He's the
villain,
conflict.
The villain is Pete. He's a very indirect villain, but Pete is definitely the villain.
Yeah, because...
He is the inciting incident for basically everything that happens in that movie.
Yeah, because the
Pete's
entire
doing.
movie, Pete is sort of influencing Goofy to make certain decisions that Goofy wouldn't necessarily make, which causes the whole conflict.
The camping idea was Pete's idea. Pete also clues Goofy in that Max changed the map to go to LA. So Pete is the villain, but Goofy is an antagonizing force.
What is... I'm trying to think of a good moment.
I got one from Riley. My favorite underrated animated moment is when Lilo calls Cobra Bubbles and says, "Cobra Bubbles, aliens are attacking my house."
That's a good scene. I've got one. Let's see. The moment when
Yeah.
Simba sleeps next to his dead dad always gets me. That's a really powerful moment that not a lot of people talk about.
Of
all the moments
intense.
people talk about in The
Yeah.
Lion King, that's like a really intense moment, because he just lays there for a minute, and he's there for a little while.
Oh, you know what? Underrated is when Genie gotchas at you at the end of Aladdin. He's like,
I'm
gotcha.
trying-
No. I can't think of anything better than what you guys said, so.
I mean, I'm trying to think of my moment. Like, you guys know me, I just love Tangled, but I don't know necessarily what my underrated moment would be.
When she says I love you to Cass in Spanish.
When they're gay in
Talking
Spanish
about
in the TV show.
Supernatural.
No.
Yes.
I mean,
No,
yes,
I've
but
explained
no.
it to him. I've explained
Yes,
it to
but
him.
no.
I'm trying to think.
On the Road is Goofy's villain song. It kind of is.
I mean, underrated moments, I think overlooked more than underrated is just...
Oh.
I like when Mulan proved she was ready for the super soldier program by climbing a pole. Yeah, basically.
Top 10 reasons why Mulan could beat Steve Rogers. She actually climbed the pole.
Well, Mina Wen is in Avengers.
She is.
She's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And she's in Star Wars.
She is in Star Wars.
She's in that Bad Batch show.
Did she do a hat trick? She did a hat trick, right?
She's in Mandalorian.
Yeah, she's also in that Bad Batch show.
cool. I haven't watched
she's
it
in
yet.
Star Wars. She's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She's Mulan.
Rouge.
I think she's in something else, but I don't remember.
But one overlooked moment, I will say, this probably isn't my most, but a moment that's overlooked in Entangled is just a small detail that always gets me every time I watch it. Is at the
trombone shot?
I love the trombone shot,
Oh,
but it's not the trombone shot.
What about the tuba shot in
It's
Frozen?
that in Mother Knows Best, and in that whole scene, she constantly calls Rapunzel by pet or flower. She never refers to her by her name. The other thing she does, Angela, come up here.
Look at you, as fragile as a flower. Just a simple little sapling.
She
just
constantly
a sprout.
she turns Rapunzel. She says, "I love you," and then turns her head down and kisses her on the hair. And she says, "I'm just saying," because I like. She caresses her hair throughout the whole song. She never kisses her face. She never calls her Rapunzel. She barely looks at her. She's like caressing the hair. She kisses the head. So, yeah.
Ooh, another good one is in The Incredibles when Syndrome is beating up Mr. Incredible after he like unveils himself, and he says like, "Am I good enough now?"
Yeah.
That's a good one. And you could make an argument, Buddy Pine, for those of you that don't know, that's Syndrome's real name. Possibly absent father. Father's never mentioned in the movie. Mother is mentioned. No reference to a father, and he's obsessed with Mr. Incredible, a very like masculine figure. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of deep stuff going on with Syndrome.
But he was a stalker.
I'm trying to think of some other.
Oh yeah, but like I'm not trying to.
I'm trying to think of moments that aren't like Tangled, because like there's a lot of good moments.
Let's just
in
scroll
Disney.
through here. We don't have time.
Let's go through the
Just
article.
scroll.
Well,
The
we have to go
article
through
will give us
the.
some.
Let me go through the
Wait.
comments,
Wait.
because this is just fishing for people's moments.
Oh. Well, we can worry about this one later. Let's get to like a
Yeah.
real article.
Well, I wanted to kind of prop up a discussion. That's why.
Oh yeah, that one's not necessarily underrated. I've seen people call it out a lot.
Pixar movie checklist,
There you go.
guys. I just want to point this one out. There's only 23 Pixar movies. There's no way you've seen as many as you think. I've seen every movie on this list. It's not that hard,
Wait,
especially now
you
with
wanna-
Disney Plus.
I want to remind these people that there are just as many Pixar movies as there are Marvel movies,
Yeah.
and plenty of people have seen every Marvel movie.
But okay, the way they're saying this, there's only 23, and then they want to say, but you haven't seen all of them. It's like,
Yeah.
take your
There's
pick.
like we can go through like Toy Story, Bugs Life, Toy Story 2.
I have not seen all of them. I haven't seen.
I want
the
you to-
real quiz is, can you name all these?
Here.
Are they
let's-
counting the shorts? No, they're counting the films, just the films.
I've seen all of these. I've seen all of these. Yeah. Seen all of these.
You seen 3?
Yeah, I've seen
Okay, I
3.
wanna
Tino,
make
we
sure.
watched 3 together.
Cars 3?
No, Toy Story 3.
Dude, I've watched 3 a
couldn't remember.
ton. I've not seen Good Dinosaur. I've seen Finding Dory. I've seen
You're
Cars
not
3.
missing anything.
I know, that's why I haven't watched.
Okay.
I've seen Coco. I've seen Incredibles 2. I've seen
Unpopular
Soul.
opinion.
So I what? I've
The
missed
Good
like 3.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, I missed 3.
Unpopular opinion. The Good Dinosaur is the worst Pixar movie. Worse than Cars 2. I'm just gonna leave that there.
You have.
Cars 2, I can at least turn my brain off and enjoy the explosions. Good
Yeah.
Dinosaur is so boring. Even if you turn your brain off, there's nothing to look at.
Every
There's the
single
drug
Pixar
trip.
movie is on Disney Plus. If you haven't seen them, you should go watch them.
Except for The Good Dinosaur.
I'm never watching.
Don't
Good
watch
Dinosaur.
Good Dinosaur.
Everyone go watch Soul.
So this
Soul is
I'm
good.
interested. 13 Disney fan theories that will probably make you rethink everything about your favorite movies. So these are interesting, and I haven't read through this one, but I wanted to see. Cars 2, I like the racing stuff. The spy stuff was shit. Basically, it was pretty, and I was enjoying watching Euro
Cars
racing
2
movies.
has such an awesome premise.
I
The idea
like
of
the
this
idea.
like world tour race and them going to different countries and shit. That is such a cool idea. And anytime they're in a race, the movie becomes interesting.
Yeah.
But like whenever they're trying to do this weird James Bond nonsense, like I'm not saying anything that's groundbreaking. Everyone has been saying this for like 10 years.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like the idea of like cars have, you know, different things in here, and yeah, there are like car stuff, but like the fact that it was centered around car spies.
Save that for
Yeah.
like one of
A short.
A short.
Yeah.
Save that for a short.
So, one or
Cars spy
both of
short.
Lilo and Nani's parents were in the CIA.
Okay. Now we're getting
In
into
the
some real
first
shit
movie,
here.
Cobra Bubbles was originally a CIA agent before he randomly left the career and became a social worker. It makes no sense why he would switch from a CIA agent to a social worker, right? Where
Unless he was
basically, Lilo's parents were co-workers of Cobra, which explains why Lilo was never taken out of her living situation and Nani was allowed to take care of Lilo. I'm interested in this.
I'm very interested.
I like this theory.
I do want to say, is there any other evidence for it?
Mandalore the Inebriated says it's because Dad has the sunglasses here.
That's true.
Dad does have the sunglasses.
Dad does have the sunglasses.
I mean, there's nothing to say it doesn't.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing to say it doesn't. But I do want to.
I love the thumbnail.
Okay,
by
this
the
is
way.
again stolen from. Let's see. This is stolen from Reddit, so let's look into this a little more. So yeah, he tells. So okay, so for one thing, he was in contact. Cobra Bubbles. The leader mentioned she recognizes Cobra Bubbles, and he tells her he was with the CIA at Roswell. Now we're led to believe a CIA agent who's involved in alien contact just walks away to become a social worker. I think not. I think his old friend Lilo's father. He keeps an eye on them to make sure they're safe. Blah, blah, blah. There's more. Lilo has a particular obsession. She's constantly taking pictures of people around the island. I think Lilo's father may have brought her on a low-risk surveillance assignment on the island. Knowing no one would look twice at a father and daughter taking pictures that he used as a cover of sorts. Interesting.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Her eclectic collection of
Dad
books
taking
and
pictures
roadmaps.
and then her doing that.
The eclectic collection of books. She has roadmaps of Iowa. Oyster farming is it for you. Practical voodoo. Fire eating for fun and profit. Interesting.
Okay. Now we're
I
getting
like that.
Now we're
I like
getting
that.
somewhere.
This is interesting. I like this. Interesting. It would explain, like, why they died. Like, how they died. We don't know how they died.
Do we not know?
I don't think so.
There's only 4 Lilo and Stitch movies.
Well,
Only one matters.
okay.
No.
There's also a television show.
Yeah,
and
there
I
is a
could have
television
sworn that they
show.
brought it up in one episode of the show. But
I mean,
it's
they're
been
CIA.
a long time since
They
I've seen
said a
all
car
70
accident.
episodes.
Oh, that's right. It was a car accident on a rainy night.
Yeah,
that's what I thought
They
it
mentioned
was.
that in the movie.
I mean, that sounds like a cover story
That
to
does
me.
sound like a car. That does sound like a cover.
You just
story.
saw... Okay, yeah. Interesting. Okay. This one's...
Oh, I hate
Nemo
this
actually
one.
died
I
in
hate
Finding
this one.
Nemo, and
These
the
are
movie
the
is Marlin's
worst.
Journey
I don't
with
even
Grief.
want to.
Yeah.
Acknowledge these.
I've
with
heard
a-
this one. It's so bad.
Just skip this. I don't want to acknowledge
Yeah,
any
no,
of these.
any
with
of
a
these that are like
response.
so-and-so was actually dead, and it was... Like, people do that with, like, Phineas and Ferb. Like, Phineas and Ferb are actually Candace's...
Rugrats is a big one.
Rugrats,
Adventure Time.
yeah.
Pokemon,
Adventure Time. Yeah.
Whatever.
Simpsons.
Hey Hey from Moana is actually a
Arnold.
demigod.
Okay, this one's so close. They got so close because so in like the actual Polynesian mythology, the son of Maui looked like a pig. They came so close.
It would have been good.
This is almost a good theory.
Had it been Pua.
Had it been Pua, become so close.
Hey Hey is always there with Moana, keeping her safe in a sense. Clever theory suggests that Hey Hey is a guardian sent by the gods to help Moana on a quest, which he does. Hey Hey appears to have stayed the same age since Moana was a baby and survives plenty of dangerous situations.
There is a theory. I don't know if there's any water to this, but there is kind of a meta
There's
theory.
plenty of water to that.
Ooh,
But,
right. There is kind of a meta theory that originally Pua was going to have a bigger role, but Hey Hey tested better with audiences.
Yeah.
And then
That's
the
what
two
it seems like
characters were
because all the
reversed.
toys have Pua.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why there's like this meta theory that exists that Pua was originally supposed to be more
I
important, and Hey Hey was going to be a very minor.
So this is
character.
interesting, and I've seen a similar theory. Mother Gothel from Tangled is actually the evil queen from Snow White. According to this theory,
They have different
they're the same
names.
because they're both obsessed.
Damn.
No, they're both obsessed with
They
beauty.
look totally different.
They're both obsessed with beauty and having a youthful appearance forever. The characters have plenty of similarities. You can read all the wild details here. Let's just take a...
I mean, changing your name is easy.
Well, yeah,
Especially
but
back
they
then.
look totally different.
Yeah.
Too.
According to the theory, she faked... The evil queen simply faked her own death. And aside from visual
crushed by
similarities,
rocks.
there are
She
several
fell
nods to
like
Snow White and
crushed by a
Tangled,
rock.
as well as Mother Gothel's style of dress, notably the poison apple and the banister in Rapunzel's tower.
But that
There's,
cliff.
I mean, this thing is long.
but
I
there
need
was
you to
a
come
cliff,
see how
right?
long this is.
Wait, there was a cliff, right?
Yeah.
It was the cliff that the flower was on.
Oh, you're right.
Oh.
There's a theory that Mother Gothel is Megara.
That's the one I was
That
going to talk
one
about.
I'm a little more inclined to believe than Evil Queen. I don't believe that one really necessarily either.
I was joking about villains falling and coming back like Rise of Skywalker.
It's the weird boob shape. That's what it is.
Kingdom Hearts 3 confirms that Mother Gothel has a triple G-cup bust line.
This is interesting. I don't think
Kingdom Hearts 3
it's
is not
necessarily
canon to Tangled. Only to Toy Story and Monsters Inc.
I don't necessarily agree with the fact that she'd be the evil queen, but I do think that there's some backstory because she talks...
Clothing dark side magic, secrets only the Sith know.
She talks about how...
Now that's a theory. Was Mother Gothel a Sith Lord?
Clearly. Well, she talks about how, like, she has that scene at the end where she tells, the world is dark and dangerous and cruel. They find even the littlest bit of light, they destroy it. Like, implying she has some sort of backstory that, like, we don't see.
Mother Gothel's got a backstory.
She's got a deep backstory that I would like to...
We'll never know.
We'll never know, and I don't want to know. Don't make a Gothel film. They're gonna make a Gothel.
It's gonna be called Gothel.
It's gonna be called Gothel.
I love that is
and
one thing.
It's gonna be starring Zendaya as Mother Gothel, as a young Mother Gothel.
No, that is the thing. In Tangled the series, they do give a bit of backstory, and it's literally Mother Gothel's always been horrible.
Yeah,
and she abandoned her kid.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Everyone knows this one.
She killed Darth Plagueis.
Oh,
Mother
clearly.
Gothel killed Darth Plagueis? Probably.
Probs.
Anna and Elsa from Frozen and Tarzan are actually siblings. This is the theory.
This one has been disproven by Frozen 2.
But this theory basically states that Mom and Dad didn't die. They crashed on an island and they had Tarzan.
Okay, Frozen takes place in like the 1890s or something like that. Tarzan takes place in like the 30s or 40s or something, or maybe not the 40s, but it takes place in like the 20s or 30s.
Yeah,
there's also this one. All the Pixar movies are connected. If you haven't heard this theory, this is the huge theory that every Pixar movie is connected, and it's basically because
it's true.
It's not true. Every Pixar movie tries to have like two or three little things.
True to an extent. There are some Pixar movies that absolutely are connected in some sort of way. But it's certainly not every movie, despite what the Super Carlin brothers will have you believe. Cars does not fit into the whole thing.
Well, and what are the things that are in every Pixar movie? There's
A113 is in nearly every Pixar movie. The Pixar ball.
The ball and the pizza car.
The Pizza Planet truck, John Ratzenberger, and then a Easter egg from a future Pixar movie. Those are the 5 Easter eggs that are
because of
more
this,
or less in
they
every
go,
movie.
oh, well, all the movies are connected because they have all these things and this, that, and the other, and this character kind of looks like that character.
There are
so
some
hints and teases here.
Some of these are true to an extent. There is a character in Finding Nemo who reads a Mr. Incredible comic book. Buzz Lightyear appears in Finding Nemo. The same. It's the exact Pizza Planet truck.
Yeah, Toy Story and Finding Nemo have connections.
Yeah, but like,
there's lesbians in Toy Story.
There's lesbians in Toy Story and in Onward, so lesbians exist in both universes.
And I meant Finding Dory, but yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Some of these are more just the crew throwing Easter eggs and references. Yeah, it's not meant to connect them.
There's no overarching plot of Pixar.
Interesting.
The monsters are not time traveling back in time through the door.
I have a theory. All of the Marvel movies are actually connected.
Connecting with Pixar continuing with Pixar movies being connected, Bing Bong from Inside Out is actually Monster from Monsters, Inc. and not Riley's imaginary friend.
This was a Carlin Brothers theory. They actually asked Brad Bird, the director, and he said it's possible.
Okay. This was not bad. He would visit her when she was only 3 years old, so she actually remembered a friendly monster instead of creating an imaginary friend, blah, 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 blah.
Because Brad Bird was the director was Brad Bird or Pete Docter?
Oh, here's another one. Carl from Up was dead the entire time.
That sucks.
Hercules and Ariel are actually cousins. This gets something wrong, right?
I think I was wrong. I think I said Brad Bird. I think it was Pete Docter.
The theory explores how Ariel and Hercules are related, looking at Greek mythology. Ariel's dad is King Triton, who's the son of Poseidon, so Poseidon Ariel's grandfather. Greek mythology, Poseidon also has 2 brothers, Hades and Zeus.
So this one, on surface, seems like it has some plausibility, and I would believe it myself if it were not for the Hercules TV show that aired on Toon Disney, where we actually meet the character of Triton, and he's some weird green fish guy.
Yeah.
Are we taking the TV show as canon then?
The Hercules TV show is actually of questionable canon because it doesn't make any sense in the timeline of the film when it takes place. So it's honestly up to you.
I mean, I will also say in Greek mythology, gods do have like different forms and shapes.
They have different epithets
and
stuff.
you know,
This one's
aspects
possible.
and whatever.
It's possible, but I don't think it's very likely.
In Ratatouille, the old lady at the beginning of the movie is the food critic's mother.
This is a Carlin Brothers theory. I firmly believe this one.
The flashback where you see Ratatouille, you can
evidence.
see similars in the house from the beginning, her face, and the bridge. Okay, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Stolen straight from Super Carlin Brothers. But
Yeah.
Oh, all of these are.
a lot of them are.
Hans is not the real villain of Frozen, the rock trolls are.
Oh,
Okay, I've seen this one.
That's a Carlin Brothers.
I don't-
So, I've seen this one. According to theory, Prince Hans was magically manipulated by the trolls to betray Arendelle because they want Kristoff to marry the family instead of Hans.
Yeah, I hate this one.
In the first movie, Prince Hans wanted to kill Elsa, but when the guards had a crossbow at her, he saved her. Why would he do that if he wanted her
It
dead?
does
Gavin
explain
talks
yours,
about that
though.
all the time.
It does explain yours, though.
The only explanation is that Prince Hans, the first time we see him, is a good guy, but somewhere over the course of the movie, the trolls magically manipulate him. I've seen this one, and, I mean... It kind of makes sense because they say, like, it's not awful. I don't believe it's true, but it would make more sense than he was a villain the whole time. Because he had the perfect opportunity to kill Elsa, and he saved her.
Well, I think
And it
part
wouldn't
of
even been his hands.
Well, I think part of it is that at the end, he's trying to get away, not just for Elsa to die, but also for Anna. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense.
This is the only way that makes the movie make sense.
Frozen was
If
rushed. Frozen
that
was very much
the
rushed.
case, if that was true, that was the trolls' plan, they are the greatest fucking tacticians
Oh, yeah.
I have ever met.
Oh, yeah.
There's another one. Moana was dead
this
the whole
weird
time.
Ice Kid boy, we're going to set him up with the princess. And
We'll do that by turning this random prince evil.
we're gonna have a song about
Finally,
them getting
in WALL-E,
married,
the
and,
people resorted to cannibalism.
Oh, this is a Matt Pat theory. Maybe.
They were on the ship for longer than planned. The robots control everything on the ship, and the humans have no idea. You don't see any plants or animals on the ship, so we don't know how they dispose of corpses. Since the robots are programmed not to return to Earth, they solve the absence of one resource with the excess of another. I don't think that's... I mean,
I think there are plants on the ship.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they probably had, like...
Because they had gardens. I mean, like, they had some
I hate these
farms
super
or something.
secret theories. Why do these exist? I get having a deeper layer, but the end just kind of makes the movie more convoluted. Yeah, a lot of these are just kind of like, why?
Well, because they they were ready to
I think
start
we're gonna
farming.
stop there.
They were ready to start farming when the
We got about
the thing
halfway
landed.
through all
They
of
had stuff.
our articles. If you guys have any more articles that you see or come across in the next coming week,
Disney Ref.
send me any articles you find, and I will save them and we'll go over them. And then I think we're gonna start doing this maybe every other week or once a month or something.
I have
We're
an
gonna keep
idea
doing
about
this.
it,
But if you have any articles, send them to me on. If you know me, send them to me on Facebook.
Or just post them in chat anytime there's a stream.
Yeah, post them in chat. You can DM me on Twitter, or tweet me. You can do any of that. We're actually setting up a Discord, so when the Discord is set up, I'll make a place for Disney stuff to be put. Yeah. And that's that. Anything you guys wanted to add? What was your,
No, are we gonna raid someone?
No, I don't think anyone else is live right now. Let's see.
We're gonna raid Shadow Legends.
You got
only
one
Tina
person
me.
on.
Yeah, we're not gonna raid her.
Okay.
Alrighty, so
We're gonna raid
I'll
my
join
channel.
you on Discord and it'll be another one I have muted. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I expect, but we're gonna get a Discord set up. And once it's set up, I will let you guys know next stream. We stream again tomorrow at 6 o'clock, I think is what I said. So tomorrow we're gonna be continuing with Pokemon, and I'll see you guys then. Bye. Say bye, guys. Bye.
No. Bye, guys.